Okay, everyone, it's Loshak in the Bag show. Tuesday, November 23rd. He's Jimmy the Bag. I'm Peter Loshak. Jimmy the Bag. I'm over my head in college basketball. That's what I'm putting all my mental energy into. It's a lot of fun. I'm doing relatively well with it. It's a great time of the year. I love doing these shows every Tuesday with you, talking to all the low baggers, getting all their information in the comments section. I'm a little bit frazzled right now, but it's good. I think this is going to be a good show. It's a little bit of a shorter card, which is nothing wrong with that, right? Usually, there's a lot more NHL games. We discussed on Twitter last night the Edmonton-Dallas game already, so we'll get into that. We got a bunch of is Maxwell Smart coming on today?
Maxwell Smart will be joining us, as will Skee Profit.
Okay, thank God for that. There's some interesting situations in the NBA. I'm very interested to hear what you and Skee and the low baggers have to say about the NBA, because regular viewers of my shows know that I'm flat out shitty at NBA, and but there appear to be some.
Okay, we have got some internet issues early. That scares me. Early internet issues with Pistol Pete Loshak. He's got his mouth. Oh, there, he's back now. I didn't know.
Okay, I don't know what you heard, but did you hear what I said? That did you hear my joke about how I'm shitty at NBA?
I did hear that.
All right, and then I said that, but there appear to be some pretty obvious plays on the NBA card tonight. Did you hear me say that?
I did.
Yes, and then I said that I'm very interested to hear what you and Skee Profit and the low baggers have to say about those seemingly obvious plays to me. Did you hear that part?
I did.
Okay, great. All right, we got it all. All right, let's get into the show. Jimmy the Bag.
I'm very excited about today's show. Usually I'm so overwhelmed, and 13 games gave me lots of time. I spent, a huge chunk of yesterday doing the records, so I didn't need to worry about them this morning or late last night. And I got to put all my energy into this 13-game card, which is a treat. And it won't be like that tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to be completely overwhelmed with a ridiculous amount of action. But today's beautiful, and I can't wait to work with all of you guys. We got Sammy J. Calmer, Real Deal Prime, Viper, and B in the house. Is back from Colombia, ready to cap and get money. I need a birthday pick. Viper and B, who's had our back since the very, very beginning, Pistol. What a great guy, great capper. So much fun to work with. Looks like we're going to get a Peter Loshak birthday pick for Viper and B. There's razor sharp picks in the house. 10-4 last 3 days, plus $1,500. I love that. Razor was on the Pacers yesterday. What a thing of beauty. What a great capper he is. Danny A in the house. Nutflush Allen just had a huge night with the Buccaneer props in yesterday's game. Also, shout out to Lily Gunn. Picked up a cool $300 on the Buccaneers minus 11. Great job. Danny Lopez in the house. Cab, Red Girl, Rolly Hernandez, Tyrone Coleman ready to go. Nathan Cerna, $5 unit. The Rocks are 82. Puzzler is on Vermont over 126.5. There's Birdie in the house. Great job by Birdie yesterday. He was on the Sharks that cashed in overtime. Great stuff from Birdie. Christopher Comentini, Nuke Worker. Michael Ervelina says from SoCal, now all the way to Washington, D.C. for my first time. Can't miss the show tonight. Going to the Caps game tomorrow. So pumped. Oh, Michael Ervelina, I love Washington, D.C. What a great city. What an underrated city it is. You're going to have so much fun. And I love the Verizon Center. I have great memories of that spot.
D.C.? Hell yeah. It's the nation's capital. It's Washington, D.C. Hell yeah. Love D.C.
Slatsy, rolling in NHL, Bon Quickly. So I went on a big losing streak in NFL, in NHL. In NFL, I had my 4th straight winning week. So now, after being down double-digit units, I'm down 0.25 units. I'm 71-63, right about to get in the black in NFL. But that NHL, I stopped the losing streak. I cashed 2.08 units. Beautiful situation for me yesterday with the Blues -1 and the over 5.5. It was very, very easy. If they could all be like that, I hope so. So I feel back in business in NHL, although I haven't gotten hot all year. Now's the time. Now I expect it. A couple of things I want to mention here quickly. Taint coming off a winning day. Jose Sehe plays of the day are now negative units. That guy better get his shit together. In NBA, we have our experts rolling 42 and 29 plus 11.5 units, led by Dutch Boy Fresh 13 and 6 plus 6.89 units. Average line minus 105. Skee Profit 8 and 3 plus 4.7 units. Wasn't with us last week, so it'll be great to have him back in action. I'm getting crushed in NBA still. Peter is 7 and 6, very low sample size for Peter, plus 0.36 units. In NHL, I'm 51 and 55, down 1.38 units. Average line plus 108. Peter Loshak though. 20 wins, 14 losses, hitting at 58.8%, plus 4.22 units, an ROI of plus 12.41%, average line minus 109. And that includes, losing on the Penguins -1 at minus 172. It includes some big losses, but the wins are way more prevalent than the losses. So great job, Pete, in NHL. Very impressed.
Thank you very much. And it's all due.
All right, we got to figure out Pete's internet issues early. We got to get let's get Pete out of the stream. We got to get him right. We can't have this happening 5 minutes into the show, Pete. We got to get
again.
Right.
I am plugged in though. So I don't know. It could just be I'm noticing that just in the area, and I am in Brooklyn. I've had some spotty internet, just because, handicapping all these college basketball games so quickly. I notice when the internet goes out for a few seconds. So it might be an area issue, Jimmy the Bag. I don't know. We'll do the best we can.
We will. Max coming off a 4-2 day in NCAA basketball. Actually, it was a parlay loss, so it was actually a 5-2 day, really, but. The parlay loss, so 4-2 days. So he's 26 and 22, hitting at 54.2%, up 2.51 units. I'm now in the black in NCAA basketball, which I'm happy about, just 12 and 11. I should have gone on Santa Clara when he was so bullish on them. And CFL, I'm 9-game winning streak in CFL. So I'm sitting 18 and 9 on the year, plus 7.8 units with an ROI just under 30% at 28.89.
And so did you all end up taking that game that meant nothing? The under was so obvious, right, Jimmy the Bag?
It was so obvious, but it was also pretty obvious in that Lions-Eskimos game. I know the Lions were so obvious, but that under looked pretty obvious there, and it went over. So, yes, I would have been 3-1 had I been attacking these Eskimo games. And I don't know why, really, I was so hesitant to do it when they – even if a game means nothing, there's still money to be made. And I've been – and also I'm on this winning streak, and the last thing I want is a game that means nothing to hurt me, so I've kind of stayed out of it.
Right.
Okay, so let's get to work right now. We have Ron Crawford with a spreadsheet play today, and that opens up our action. So thank you for sharing that with us, Ron. Let's get started. Ron Crawford starting out his card in the Philadelphia Flyers at Tampa Bay Lightning, and Ron Crawford moving on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Pete and I have moved on both of the other games. This is the one game we have not moved on. Okay, enough Flush Allen saying, do you remember the old days when the screen would freeze and Pete would tell the guest to hold up one finger for yes and two fingers for no? He's frozen yet again. Okay, so we're going to give him a second, pull him back in, see if we can get this shit right. Okay, so let's get started. 7 p.m. Eastern, Philadelphia Flyers 8-5-3, 4-2-1 on the road at Tampa Bay Lightning, 10-4-3, 5-3-2 at home. Amalie Arena in Tampa, Florida. Huge injury issues now with both teams. Enough where I have to stay off. I did think about the Lightning because I do think that they're able to handle these injuries better than they're more equipped to handle these injuries better than the Flyers. Tampa Bay opening up at minus 158. They're now at minus 165. So a 7-cent move in their direction. And then from a total side of things, we open up at Pinnacle at 5.5 minus 113. It's now 5.5 at minus 106. Let me make sure I'm logged in. Yeah, I am. So a 7-cent move. 7-cent move towards the under, basically, or about 7 cents. Let's move over to the cash flow in this spot in NHL. We have 1,929 tickets in. 31% of the money line tickets on the Flyers, 58% of the cash. So bigger bets coming in on the Philadelphia Flyers. Then 64% of tickets and 74% of cash on the over. Great to have all you guys. Schnizzle, Viper's birthday today. Hoops 590, Dommy Gun. Besides, he says Braden Point being out is big. Let me just set a quick table and then send. Oh, sorry, this is how we want Pete to open up these games.
No, it's okay. It's okay. You can just go ahead, Jim. We'll do the next game. I'll open it up.
You'll lead the next games. Okay. Yeah. So Carter Hart versus Andre Vasilevsky. Sadly, I was on the Flyers. with Martin Jones was switched to in goal. You don't want to be in that situation. You're going to need Carter Hart between the pipes anytime you're backing the Flyers or backing an under. Vasilevsky, 8-3-3, 2.38 goals against average, 9-17 save percentage. This Flyers power play is at 15.4%, and I get why it is. Ryan Ellis was supposed to be the quarterback of this power play. He's played 4 games, has 5 points in those 4 games, but now he's out 6 weeks. So he's just been injured all year long. And penalty killing 83.3%. Tampa Bay power play 20.8%. No Kucherov now, no Braden Point. It's tough. It's tough. They're penalty killing at 85.7%. Flyers coming off their second straight home loss 5-2 versus Boston on Saturday night. Kevin Hayes now listed week to week after he re-injured himself. He was back for 2 games following abdominal surgery. He's out with an abdominal injury. That's their second line centerman. They just don't have depth down the middle. Now, Derek Brassard has been much better than I expected him to be. I'm shocked, to be honest with you, that he's playing as well as he's playing. I would never have guessed this. So that helps him a great deal down the middle. 4 goals, 7 assists in 16 games, 8+8. And I don't know how long he can keep up that production. So Ellis, by the way, doesn't need surgery, but 4 to 6 weeks for him. So the Flyers are getting production from Giroux, 7 goals, 9 assists in 16 games. Couturier, 5 goals, 8 assists, 16 games. But they're getting nothing from Konechny, who at times has been this team's leading scorer. They're not getting enough from Farabee. Oscar Lindblom, this great story, has no goals, 1 assist in 15 games. So I know it's huge that he's come back from cancer, but he's got to produce, or, we'll be talking about this story with him back in Europe or in the AHL. Cam Atkinson has 7 goals in 16 games. I'm very impressed with that +11. He's playing very well with Derek Brassard, and that, again, surprises me. Lightning coming off their 4th win in their last 6 games. Kucherov remains out until January. Braden Point now out indefinitely with an upper body injury. Eric Cernak has been out a defenseman since November 9th and is expected back soon. Steven Stamkos has been excellent. 9 goals, 10 assists, 19 points, 17 games played. He's taking this team on his shoulders. Alex Killorn also playing very well. 7 goals, 10 assists, 17 points. Victor Hedman is spectacular. I mean, he's just so good. 3 goals, 14 assists, so he's got a point a game. He's playing 25 minutes, 53 seconds a game. And, of course, will be nominated for a Norris Trophy, where it will go down to him. It'll be Fox in New York and Cale Makar in Colorado, and it'll be those 3 guys as we move forward year in and year out. Pete, Flyers, Lightning, we both stayed off of this spot. Birdie says, I like the under here. I see a tight checking game with Point being out. Tampa Bay is more than comfortable winning a 2-1, 3-1 game. I like the under here based on how this game should be played. That does make sense to me. Pete, what do you think here?
You tell me what the good bet is. See, this is why you have the expert go last, not first. But, okay, yeah, Jimmy the Bag. I was looking at this one. Obviously.
Okay, we're going to pull Pete out here. Wait till he gets his internet straight. Yeah, I agree with the under 5.5. Slatsy says 2 goalies playing well, Flyers not scoring, and point out for Tampa.
All right, I'm back. Can you see me?
Yeah, you're back.
Did you hear my comment about this is why you have the experts go last?
Yes, we did.
Okay, good. All right, yeah. So I was going to say that this is a revenge game of sorts, right, for Philly, right? Because Tampa Bay just beat him in that weird game the last time, right? Mm-hmm. Now I'm all nervous that I'm going to drop out when I'm saying something important and lose the flow. I was thinking and with the injuries and Vasilevsky playing great, I was also thinking that the under was the way to go. I saw that Birdie's comment; he liked the under. I didn't quite like it enough to want to tweet it out, to include it in my overnight lines tweet. But I was definitely thinking under, or maybe first period under. And I was also, Philly's had a hard time scoring, but why would we not like Philly in some way here, either on the money line, maybe +1, maybe first period? Why would we not like that?
I guess when you go over these rosters from a forward standpoint, from the forwards on the ice, you would say, yeah, the with the injuries, the Flyers have a better forward group, but the Lightning's defense is quite a bit stronger than the Flyers, and the Lightning are at home. I guess with the market the way it is, when you look at these teams, there's a lot of parity now that there's been these injuries. So I guess if you had a free bet, Flyers would be the play. Mm-hmm. But who's more equipped to handle these injuries, and who's at home? And when the Flyers fill out both those, the more I'm capping this, the more I think you guys are absolutely right on this under.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when I first saw this game. I was thinking this is the obvious way to go.
Yeah, I could see a low-scoring game. Slatsy says Vasilevsky confirmed Hart probable. Yeah, that all makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. I think that's a worthy addition here with the injuries that these two teams have. The Lightning are going to have a really tight ship here. This is something they do so well too. They handle these injuries. They're used to these injuries, and Stamkos has been so strong. So I like it. Mike M says so many high-scoring games last night. I could see the under here to balance things out. Flyers haven't been scoring much. Tampa Bay injuries, low scoring affair. Yeah, I think you guys are right. I think this is probably worth an addition here.
All right, I'm going to make a play on the under here. Jimmy the Bag, historically in NHL, I have had some good reads on games and then screwed myself by getting too cute, at times way too cute, trying to put too fine a point on the on the exact bet with the most value. But I'm thinking maybe the first period under at 1.5 minus 104 might be a little better even than the full game under. What do you think?
Mr. Gogster, who's going to be back in action with us this week, got some new equipment. He does very well with those first period unders. I agree, but I think that when I make a bet, I have an advantage, unless it's all set up around the first period.
Right.
Unless my angle's this is what's going to happen in the first period. I would rather have 60 minutes if I believe I have an advantage in a certain angle. But I can understand this spot here, and we've seen a lot of. So far this year in the NHL, we've seen a lot of first periods go under and full games go over. So I get it.
Yeah, I mean, I just think with the injuries, it might be a little bit more conservative to start. I'll make that an official play. First period under 1.5 minus 104. If the first period goes over, but the full game goes under, I'll just complain about it again in our next show. Okay?
Yeah, I think I'll add the under 5.5. I think that all makes sense. I don't know what's happened to me. I guess something has happened to me though with the 5.5s where I just love these under 6s so much, and it's affecting me because I used to have no problem going under 5.5 at all. And lately I've been very hesitant to go under the 5.5 if I don't get the push at 6, which is strange, but it's happening. I like it. So there we go, Pete. Pete's on the under 1.5 minus 104. I'm on the under 5.5. We haven't bet these yet. Everything else we have. So let's get into those games, Pete.
All right, I'm just because we're so diligent about keeping public records and we put them out there. I should at least be line shopping. Is there any better line than minus 104? Is there a plus 100 anywhere? There probably is, right? Because that's a.
All right, we lost Pete again. This is. I'm not going to let it annoy me. So let's move forward here into game 2. Next up, we have 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Edmonton Oilers 13-4-0, 5-3-0 on the road at Dallas Stars 7-7-2, 4-2-1 at home. American Airlines Center, Dallas, Texas. Pete, you are back. You want to take over the intro?
Yeah, we're talking about Edmonton, Dallas here, right? I just wanted to quickly ask: are there any? What does Bet365 have for the first period under on that other one?
Let's find out. I would be shocked if they were going to be able to.
Yeah, all right. 105 is fine. 105 is fine. Screw it.
Oh no, I'll take a look.
I mean 104.
Okay. Yeah, I've got you on minus 104, so we'll.
All right. Okay. So Dallas, Edmonton, right?
Yeah.
All right, Dallas, Edmonton, kind of obvious again, but like the Bengals in the NFL last week on Sunday, some of those super obvious plays you should think 2 or 3 times about. Some of them just go with and don't overthink yourself and put yourself off of them. And the over in this game seems very obvious. Low backers were talking about how they were expecting a radical improvement from Dallas in upcoming games and weeks. That was, I think, in the last show or 2 shows ago, and that's definitely been the case. They were getting a lot of shots on goal, but not, producing offensively in the beginning of the year. Now they've started scoring like hell at home. So I tweeted out Dallas team total over 2.5. I got it at like 152. It was 158 when I tweeted it out. I was worried it was going to go to 3.5. Now it is at 3.5. And of course, Edmonton can score at any place, anytime. And so the over 6 looked like a good play to me. And, Edmonton's had a little bit of an uptick with this new goalie Skinner, the rookie. But those were games at home. He had 2 nice games at home. He had 2 other games on the road where he did give up a bunch of goals at Buffalo and at Detroit. So, it's a nice story. He's an impressive guy, but he can be vulnerable on the road. Looks like Dallas is primed to have a nice offensive game. Edmonton probably is primed to have an offensive game.
Okay, so let's pull this over. So Pete having internet issues. Taint play of the day is in Taint play of the day is in. Pete, I wonder, can you restart something or do something? Because this is happening every 2 minutes right now.
You want me to restart my whole computer? I mean, I could do that, but it's going to take like 15 minutes.
Well, Okay, but if it keeps happening every 2 minutes, I'm in such a good mood and it's going away. It's going away really fast.
Pete, could you restart your router if you have one by chance?
You want me to do that?
Yeah, if you could. Let's try that and see.
Sure.
Leave my computer on. I think it'll take like 5-10 minutes, and you can just come back in.
All right. Okay. So, Jimmy the Bag, I will. Do I use the same link that you sent me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'll do that. All right. I'll do that.
Okay. Back to NHL. So when Pete tweeted out his action last night, I was looking at this game. I was like, okay, the over is a clear play. And the over was only minus 105. It was minus 105 to the over and minus 115 to the under. And I was like, wow, the market's still making this mistake. I can't believe the market is still not watching these Dallas Stars games. Now, I know they're coming off a 4-1 win over St. Louis, and 2 of those goals were shorthanded by Rupee Hintz. But still, I was like, this is a Stars team that has so much offensive skill. And then Pete tweeted it out. And then I went and looked, and it already moved to minus 115 up at 365. So I bet it right away. I was in the middle of capping. I should have bet it right away at minus 105. I didn't. I got the 6 at minus 115. It's already moved to 6.5. And Pete, as he said, he's already on these Stars. Team total over 2.5 as well. Dommy Gunn says, I'll be watching this line in Dallas. My lean is under 6. Well, bet the 6.5 right now, Dommy, is readily available. The first thing that was written on Pete's tweet was a guy saying, watch out, those Dallas Stars don't score. They don't have offense. So there's this vividness bias of this Dallas Stars team. And I replied, I'm like, they've scored 16 goals in the last 4 games. They've scored 10 goals in the last 2 games. I guess they haven't scored 10 goals in the last 2 games. No, they scored 10 goals in the first 2 games of that 4-game run because they only scored 4 last game, and then they lost 7-2 in Minnesota. So Dommy says fishy line is Dallas minus 115. This is a pick 'em game at best. It opened or not opened. I don't know exactly what it opened at. It was minus 110 each way this morning when I bet the Dallas Stars. And I bet the Dallas Stars comfortably. And I like the over very much. And the main reason why is because Darnell Nurse has a broken finger and is going to be out for the next 3 weeks. If the Edmonton Oilers have ever been vulnerable, it's right now. It is right now. Without that huge body on the ice, Darnell Nurse is such a great defenseman. And without him on the ice, I'm very interested to see how this Oilers team moves forward. Stuart Skinner playing well. Do we really believe it? Do we really believe it? Birdie also on the Stars money line. Remo says at 6.5, he would take the under. Has it been confirmed that it was Holtby? Because I thought I had Khudobin on left wing lock. So if someone could confirm that, that would be great. And I have no fear. I have no faith in Holtby being a top flight goaltender. None. I don't care how he started the year. And Remo says if it's Ottinger plays, all bets off. Matt Paulin says, looks like they're begging you to take the Oilers as dogs. And Billy Friedrich says nothing confirmed. Maybe that's the case too. This Darnell Nurse being out, we're going to get a really good idea of what this Oilers team is like. They're coming off their second straight win, 5-2 at home for Chicago on Saturday night. Darnell Nurse, this is who they're not going to have for 2 to 3 weeks. He's 11 assists, 53 shots, 20 blocked shots, 66 hits, and he's playing 26 minutes a game. Mike Smith still out. Leon Draisaitl, absolute monster. 18 goals and 17 assists in 17 games played. He's a plus 10. He has 9 power play goals, 5 power play assists. He has more points on the power play than anybody on Dallas has overall. His 14 power play points are more than Miro Heiskanen's 13 points. Dallas bounced back from their ugly 7-2 loss to Minnesota with a big 4-1 win at home over St. Louis on Saturday night. Rupee Hintz scored 2 shorthanded goals. It completely changed the game. He now has 5 goals, 3 assists on the season after a terrible start. Joey Pavelski is the only star forward with double-digit points, 4 goals, 6 assists in 16 games. But Jason Robertson is heating up. So 3 goals, 6 assists, and 9 points in 10 games. So Robertson's going to keep heating up. Sammy says, Holtby out early for practice, getting extra work as of 11 minutes ago for what it's worth. Billy Friedrich says over 6.5 is the play here. If you didn't get in on the 6, I don't think you should get in on the 6.5. You really want that 6 to be a push. That 6 can't be a loss. So if you did move, like in NHL, if there's a total that you like at 6, it moves to 6.5, you have to stay off, I believe. But to each their own. So Pete is on the over 6. He got we line shot for him. So he actually betted a Pinnacle at minus 119. That was another thing. A Pinnacle moved it to minus 119, and it was like literally 30 minutes before it was at minus 105, bet 365. And I was like, Jesus, I got to bet this now. So we gave him the minus 105 that was available at Bet Online, and the Stars team total over 2.5 minus 158. I'm on the Stars at minus 110 and the over 6 at minus 115. Ickschnizzle 8-1 in NBA last night. Nice job. Nice job. I love that. Okay, so let's move forward. And Puzzler says Roto has hold be expected so far. And Real Deal Prime says it's true. Edmonton will have to play in the offensive more. That's all. Yeah, I think this is I think we should take a really close eye on these Oilers right now. Is Stuart Skinner going to be ridiculously hot? I mean, that's possible. Is he going to come back to earth? Now they don't have Darnell Nurse. Are the Oilers going to be a fade over the next 2.5 weeks? I think a lot of those answers will be here. Hopefully Dallas doesn't beat them 6-1 or 6-2 or 7-1. Then everybody will know, oh, shit, something's up here. So hopefully that doesn't happen. We will see. Steve, we had some problems with Pistol Pete's computer, so we're restarting his computer right now, and he will be back with us. But I have his action, so I can break it down. Next up for us, 9 p.m. Eastern, Chicago Blackhawks at Calgary Flames. Pete moved on the Chicago-Calgary first period under 1.5 at minus 107, and I moved on the under 5 at minus 115. And legitimately, a vividness bias almost kept me from making this bet, and I had to let it go. This is a different team with Derek King coaching the Chicago Blackhawks. So let's take a look. Oh, we didn't go over where the cash is in this Edmonton-Dallas spot. 71%. So 29% of the tickets and 41% of the cash on Dallas. God, this is now after all of this talk and discussion, I think that's the bet on the board. It's Dallas. 71% of tickets on the over. We don't know the cash yet. Back to the Chicago-Calgary spot. You have 76% of the money line tickets on Calgary. We don't have the cash up yet. And 65% of tickets, 97% of cash on the over. Stan Lynch said Calgary is not a good hockey club. Yes. Now, they've lost 5 games in overtime or shootouts. So they're actually 11-8. They're actually 2-4 at home. And they have the best coach in the National Hockey League. So, look, they needed certain things to happen for them, and they were all about Johnny Hockey. So Johnny Hockey's gone from a 55, 60-point score to on pace for 90. That's going to change things. Elias Lindholm's their best forward. Their defensemen have played better than I expected. But let's see here. If we went to the standings right now, we have Calgary, where are they? Probably first in our division or right behind the Oilers, I imagine. Let's check this out. But I think what's happening is that Darryl Sutter is the best coach in the NHL or top 3. I think that's all that's happening here. And when we go to the standings, is Johnny Hockey going to be able to do this? He should. It's a contract year for him. So they're first place in the Pacific Division. I mean, it's easy to say. I don't think they end up there. I think that's all easy to say. Blackhawks 6-10-2, 2-6-1 on the road. Calgary Flames 11-3-5, 2-1-3 at home. Scotiabank Saddledome, Calgary, Alberta. If that record's at 11-8 and 2-4 at home, would you still think they're as good as? I don't know. It's your call. Calgary 24.6% power play, 87.5% penalty killing. Chicago 17.7% power play, 86% penalty killing. Blackhawks coming off a 1-0 shutout win at Vancouver on Sunday night. As I said, Derek King doing a fantastic job. Really special. And I always liked him as a hockey player. When he played for the Isles, I was a big fan. Left wing center Tyler Johnson, right winger Mackenzie Entwistle remain out of the lineup. Defenseman Riley Stillman exited Sunday's game against Vancouver Canucks with a leg injury. Patrick Kane back in action, looking good since the COVID issues. Pete.
All right. Okay. What did I
miss? We've moved on. So I think now after capping the Stars Oilers game. So the big reason, Pete, the main reason for me loving this spot is obviously I believe in this forward group with the Stars, but it's that Darnell Nurse, who is a Norris Trophy caliber defenseman for the Oilers, who's spectacular. His sister is the best female basketball player in our country. And Darnell Nurse is out for 3 weeks. So you take 11 assists, 53 shots, 20 blocks, 66 hits, 26 minutes of ice per game. And I think Dallas to win is the best bet now on the NHL board. That's what I think.
Even more than over.
Even more than over. I think Dallas to win. And we're going to get a real good idea of Edmonton after this game. It's going to be really helpful for us. Is Stuart Skinner going to be this monster as a rookie? That's possible. Will he come crashing down to earth? I hope the Stars beat them like 3-1 or I guess that we'll lose our over. But I want the Stars to beat them in a way where not everybody understands that the Oilers are a fade moving forward until Nurse comes back, so that we can make a lot of money off of it. That's how I'd prefer it. If the Stars win 6-1 or 7-1 and everyone goes, oh shit, the Oilers are in trouble, then we don't make money off of it. But let's get in. We have NBA coming in here in a second. So I did go over your action there. And after breaking it down, I do think the Stars are the best bet on the board. And I was just talking about our unders. You're on the first period under 1.5 in Chicago, Calgary. I'm on the under 5.5. A couple things about this spot is it's predicated on this incredible goaltending, which is the same deal with that under that we took in Philadelphia, Tampa. You remember these two teams playing against each other, and you have a vividness. And I was telling him, I almost didn't bet it because of that vividness of high-scoring games. Marc-Andre Fleury is spectacular right now, and he had a terrible start to the season. Jacob Markstrom's being the best goalie in the NHL, arguably. I mean, maybe Shesterkin has something to say about that with a .942 save percentage and 1.71 goals against average. And, Derek King's changed everything here. You have guys like Dominic Kubalik, who's not playing well, 3 goals, 4 assists, and -10. Now he's not getting the ice time he was getting before. If he's not going to be accountable defensively, you have Johnny Taves without a goal. So Patrick Kane and Alex DeBrincat are bringing all their offense, and they're vulnerable. Flames finished off their 7-game road trip with an impressive 4-0 win at Chicago. After allowing 4 goals to the Habs to start off, they've allowed 6 goals over their last 6 games. They finished 4-1-2. It's a healthy group. Their top players are playing well. Goodrow, 8 goals, 14 assists, 22 points. The most glaring stat for Johnny Hockey is +14. Elias Lindholm, 8 goals, 12 assists, +18. Matthew Tkachuk, 8 goals, 9 assists, 17 points, +11. And Andrew Mangiapane has 15 goals already this year. And there's talk that Andrew Mangiapane might make Team Canada to bring some speed and penalty killing and different things to the team, which is wild. So, Andy, you want to touch on your first period under 1.5 before we move on to NBA?
I'm thinking of doubling up on this one, and my only question is, with Chicago, obviously, it was just a huge turnaround with the new coach. And my question is, how real is that turnaround, and how long is that likely to last? I guess at least defensively for this game. I mean, they just had like a nice little road trip. It's been 6 or 7 games now. Is this going to keep going?
I don't know, and I have enough fear. But I mean, the thing is that the Penguins just did it. The Penguins just kept it going through a road trip. That was my finishing thought. I was like, well, you know what? The Penguins keep doing it. I mean, that Penguins Jets under was so blatant, and I didn't move on it because I was like, is this going to keep happening? So maybe I'm messing this up, but I don't know. I don't know if I would look at this. Viper says total's gone over in 5 of Calgary's last 5 games and playing at home against Chicago. I mean, that's in my head, So I don't know if I would double up here, but are you going to?
Nah, I'll just keep it where it is.
Pete is on the Chicago Calgary first period under 1.5 -107. I'm on the under 5.5 -115. We go into NBA here. Let's do a quick review of our NHL. We both added unders in the Flyers Lightning game. Pete focusing on the first period under 1.5. I'm focusing on the full game under 5.5. I haven't bet it yet, so I'll see what line I get. I believe the Stars now is the best bet on the board after sitting here for a while. I'm also on the over 6 at -115. Pete's on the over 6 at -105, and the team total over 2.5 -158. And then Pete's on the first period under 1.5 in Calgary, Chicago. And I'm on the full game under 5.5. And again, Pete having a great year. 20-14, 58.8% plus 4.22 units ROI plus 12.41%, average line -109. So I love it. Birdie says, replying to Dom, he says, normally I agree with the end of the road trip, but it has not played out that way league wide. But 100% with why you are thinking that way. Let's go back to what Domi was saying. He says, a bad spot if you ask me for the Blackhawks. Yeah, I get it. It was a similar situation with the Pens, and I don't know. Stan Lynch says, betting flaky Dallas again. Yes, I like this. Okay, so there you have it, Pete. Keep up the good work in NHL. I'll be watching very closely. And by the way, great job on our NFL show on Sunday.
Thanks. Sorry, about the Calgary game, I was also thinking maybe about the Calgary team total under at 3.5. What do you think about that? Stupid?
No, not at all. Not at all. How much juice is there?
Yeah, 130, which is a little bit tough, but I
mean, it goes with exactly the way we expect this game to play out, unless the Blackhawks are exhausted, which I I don't know if they are.
So, you think they are?
No, I don't know. They have a new coach. They're trying to make up for that terrible start to the year.
Yeah. I'll throw that. I'll double up. I'll take Calgary team total under 3.5 minus 130. What do you think about that, Jim?
Little
crazy. I know.
No, it's not crazy. If this game goes the way we expect it to, then that should be a casher.
I'll take it.
All right, under 3.5 minus 130. All right, it is time to break into NBA, and we have just the man for the cause. Your next guest coming to us live from Las Vegas, Nevada, by way of Los Angeles, California. 8-3 on the show, plus 4.7 units, average line minus 109. Great capper, great guy. Please welcome to the show, Skee Profit in the house. Skee, what's happening?
What's up, Jimmy? What's up, Pete? Didn't get to make it with you guys last week, so it's good to be back with you guys, and hopefully we can give out some winners.
Let's get
I like your hoodie, Skee.
Oh yeah, good stuff, Jose.
I like your hoodie.
Let's get right to work. Sharon, what is happening? Great to have all you guys here with us. We start at 7 p.m. Eastern. Miami Heat 11-6, 5-5 on the road at Detroit Pistons 4-12, 2-7 at home. We're at Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan. Miami pace last 5, 27th in the NBA, 95.3 possessions a game. Detroit 10th at 98.40 possessions a game. Let me move over to NBA. While we are doing that, let's get through spreads and totals and see what we are dealing with. This opened up with Miami's 9.5-point favorites. They're now 10-point favorites. This total opened up at 208. It's now at 207. When we go to the cash flow here, we have 3,366 tickets in. 79% of the tickets, 96% of the cash on the Heat. 64% of the tickets, 90% of cash on the over, yet it's dropped a point. Heat had their 4-game winning streak snapped in a 103-100 loss at Washington on Saturday night. They had a 10-point lead with 5 minutes left. Jimmy Butler talked a lot about the right word is the maturity, or how you have to play in the NBA to take care of these leads, and he's been walking the walk. 30.7 points he's averaged over the past 3 games. Washington, by the way, finished that game on a 19-6 run. Markieff Morris remains out indefinitely. Duncan Robinson, knee questionable Tuesday. Pistons coming off their second straight loss, 121-116 at home versus Lakers, in the spirited affair. Isaiah Stewart, as we've all seen over and over again, 2-game suspension for his role in the altercation with LeBron. Pistons had a 17-point lead and got outscored 37-17 in the fourth. Jeremy Grant went for 36. Cade Cunningham, first career triple-double. Pistons did not have an assist in the final 12 minutes when the Lakers turned up the defense. Killian Hayes will miss at least 2 more games with a thumb injury. Kelly Olynyk will be sidelined for at least 4 more weeks with that grade 2 MCL sprain. Pete, any feelings here on Heat Pistons, and then pass it on to Skee?
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what Skee has to say about this one. This one has me completely confused. I mean, I guess it's all about the psychological issues here, right? Miami coming off the loss, and then Detroit coming off of that crazy game against the Lakers. So I don't know what to think. I mean, as a less than coin flip handicapper in the NBA, my thought is Miami first half -6 might be the way to go. But it's a complete pass for me. Very interested to see what Skee and the comment section have to say about this one.
I would say, I don't really love this game. If the first thing I would look at is whenever I see Detroit is the other team's 3-pointers. So that leads me to Duncan Robinson or Tyler Hero. I didn't get a chance to look at their numbers, but I would look for one of those guys to get up and over because Detroit is second worst defending the 3. So that's probably the best way to play this game, in my opinion. If I have to pick a side, I'm not a fan of playing the Heat on the road. So far this year, they're 2-4 as a road favorite. I know they've covered, I think, 5 of their last 6 games, but it's just not really where I like to bet them, especially where they have to win by double digits. So I guess I would lean towards Detroit just because I don't trust the Heat as a road favorite.
I get it. I would lean towards the points too. I get it, but I don't know if I can. I guess there's a lot of questions about how this Pistons team will react. Who's going to take over for Isaiah Stewart and what he does underneath?
It's supposed to be Trey Lyles, I think. He's going to be starting center. Yeah. But, Detroit's not that great in general. You saw they just gave away a 15, 17-point lead in a blink of an eye in the last game. If Miami's focused off of the loss from last game, they could very easily get blown out here. So, I mean, it's just a game I have to stay away. Like I said before, the best way to play it is those props. If you could tell me maybe a number for Hero or Robinson, I know Robinson would probably have a high number, but one of those guys' 3-pointers is the way I would play this game.
By the way, can I get your guys' thoughts on the Isaiah Stewart LeBron situation? Jimmy, I'm pretty sure that Isaiah Stewart's probably your favorite NBA player now.
I don't know. I like LeBron a lot more than I dislike him. I think there's a lot more positive qualities about LeBron than negative qualities. Now, there's a ton of negative qualities. I mean, but look, he's a human being. So, it's basketball, man. It's a man's sport. There's going to be issues like this. I don't see a big deal about the situation. LeBron did something that bad, would upset anybody. And Isaiah Stewart is not afraid of LeBron. And none of the young NBA players are afraid of LeBron. None of them. So that's the situation. I don't think there's too much to it. Skee, you want to add to it?
I'm just, I didn't think we'll get to see Stewart again so soon. And so, I'm just looking forward and waiting until Sunday when the Lakers play the Pistons again, see how the energy is in that game. So, I mean, it wasn't nothing too crazy for me. So I'm looking forward to see what happens on the court next time.
And Jansen says LeBron talks about equality but backs down on China. Look, this is not the kind of show where we're going to sit here and talk about all of the political bullshit that's going on in the world. So you're not going to get anything from us. We want to talk about how to make money here. And we are off of this game, Heat Pistons. Pete, after hearing this,
I'll just go on the record and say I love socialism. I do. I love socialism. So there you go. Now it's out. No, I'm kidding around. Kidding around. Just kidding.
All right, well, let's move on to LA Lakers. 9-9, 2-4 on the road at New York Knicks. 9-8, 4-5 at home. Madison Square Garden in New York. I missed the 5.5, and now it's 6. I got the 5. And it went from 4.5 to 5.5 to 5. So I am on the Lakers. I expect the Lakers to look good here. I probably should have taken the Lakers first half instead of full game because I have a feeling that the Knicks could kind of wear this team down. But I did move on to Lakers +5. Lakers 9-9, 2-4 on the road. Knicks 9-8, 4-5 at home. Lakers pace last 5, 5th at 101.8 possessions a game. Knicks 20th at 96.90 possessions a game. Let's move on to the so a Pinnacle opened this at 5. It's now at 6 across the board. This total opened up at 215. It's now at 213.5. And then 2,975 tickets in. 68% of the tickets, 78% of the cash on the Knicks, and 64% of the tickets, 74% of cash on the under. And Lakers coming off snapping their 3-game losing streak with a big fourth quarter comeback, 121-116 win at Detroit on Sunday night. James has the 1-game suspension. Shooting guard Austin Reeves, hamstring doubtful. Kendrick Nunn out long-term. Knicks coming off their second loss in 3 games, 109-103 at the Bulls on Sunday night. They allowed the Bulls to score 37 points in the fourth. New York has lost 7 of 11. They have not had a back-to-back victory in all those 11 games. Mitchell Robinson, concussion ruled out. Taj Gibson, sore groin, doubtful. So Gibson's going to miss his 3rd straight game. Point guard Derrick Rose, sore right ankle, being listed as questionable. Pete, any feeling here?
So LeBron's out, right? For sure, right?
Yes.
And the Knicks, 7 straight unders? I don't know. It seems like super obvious that you maybe take a shot with another under. That might be super stupid, but I don't know. Is that too obvious? What do you think?
I mean, Lakers are not really a team I want to take an under with. They haven't really been playing too much defense. They play up tempo on the offensive end, and they've been pretty solid shooting the 3. So in general, I don't really want to take unders. I don't think it matters as far as over/under if LeBron is in or not. I mean, Davis, he's questionable because he has flu-like symptoms. If Davis is missing, that's going to hurt the Lakers' defense even more, but also hurt them offensively. So I don't know how to tell you on the total. As far as the side, in that last game with everything that happened with the Pistons and Stewart and, LeBron got ejected and then everybody stepped up and put in a great effort to come back. I mean, I've seen a couple, now maybe 2 I think, really good fourth quarters from Westbrook, where he's showing us that star power like still matters. He's really the reason why the Lakers won that game. So I definitely would want Anthony Davis in the lineup. I don't like seeing that he has those flu-like symptoms, but I heard him say earlier too. Every game on this road trip, we need him because they've let too many games slide, and they got 2 more left. They won the last one. You heard Russell Westbrook in the after game say it was a must-win game. I think all of these games to the Lakers are must-win games. So I just see them the last 5 games. They've been better offensively. They've been a better rebounding team. They haven't been as good on defense, but you're giving them 3 possessions, 2-3 possessions. I think the Lakers can stay in the game, if not win it. So I like the Lakers plus.
I do too. I like the Lakers. So does Razor Sharp Pixies on the Lakers as well.
What?
Although,
Razor's on the Lakers. Razor never likes the Lakers.
On the other, and Gambler's First Glance is out, and it is the game we just spoke of. So Gambler's First Glance is out. It is the Miami-Detroit over 207. Gambler's First Glance, Miami-Detroit over 207. Okay, so Skee, do we make the +6 an official pick for you?
Yeah, Lakers +6. I like that. Go for it.
I wish I got 6.
We'll be all right, Jimmy. They'll win the game.
I know, but like I literally had the 5.5, and it just like I had it queued up, and then it went to 5.
I know. I saw it this morning too. It got up to 6 this morning too. Then it went to 5.5 and went all the way back down to 4.5. I watched it too.
Now it's back at 6. Like it's just and look, I think AD's got to step up here.
I see somebody saying Lakers play tomorrow, Knicks do not. I mean, it's also Knicks' 3rd game in 4 nights, and it's not that for the Lakers. I mean, you can look at it either way.
+6 at -104 is available right now. Lakers +6. Pete, is there anything you want to make official here?
No, I didn't look into this game as much as I would have liked to analyze what's psychologically likely to happen with the Lakers with LeBron out. But yeah, I mean, the line's heading up because they think Anthony Davis might be out as well. Is that what's going on here?
Correct.
Has to be.
That might be a great play. Lakers +6.
And even the more I think about it, like even when we knew LeBron was out, but when we see the star players go out, everybody runs to the window at one side, Jimmy, right? And what usually happens? They don't get to cash that ticket. So
Yes, and nervously though, Dutch Boy Fresh says Knicks easy. He's completely on the other side with the Knicks here.
all right, bet on makers, Dutch, and I'll take something. I'll pick a drink of my choice. I know you like makers.
God, who doesn't like makers? Makes me salivate at 11:50 this morning. Okay, let's move on. Next spot on the board for Skee Profit: Denver Nuggets at Portland Trail Blazers. Nuggets 9-8, 2-5 on the road. Blazers 9-8, 8-1 at home. Moda Center, Portland, Oregon. Denver 30th in pace over the last 5 games, 94.80 possessions a game. Portland 26th at 95.60 possessions a game. Let's move over to the market, and then we'll go over to the cash flow. So here we go. We have Blazers at 6.5. That's good. I got them at 5.5. And this total opened up at 213.5. That's where it stands right now. Still sitting at Owen Ottinger confirmed. Thank you, Rem. That's big. Thank you. THC's Rizzo says too much money on the Knicks. And Dutch Boy Fresh says I got it at -4. So let's move over to the cash flow in this spot. Oh, Schnizzle, can you give us an update on COVID? I know you're 8-1 in NBA in your last 9 bets, but I want to know that you're also going to live a long, healthy life, and I can go down to Cleveland and get drunk with you. So can you give us a quick COVID update? So we have 66% of the tickets on the Blazers, 46% of the cash. So Nuggets are being backed, and the market moving towards Portland, all very dangerous. 89% of tickets on the over. Nuggets coming off their 4th straight loss, 126-97 at Phoenix on Saturday night. They gave up 48 points in the first quarter. No Jokic again. He is questionable for tonight's game. Bones Highland ankle out for Tuesday's game as well. And as you guys know, Michael Porter and Jamal Murray out long term. Blazers have won the first 3 games of this 4-game homestand that finishes tonight. They're coming off a 118-111 win over the Sixers. On Saturday night, Lillard looked very bad to start the season. He just put up 39 against the Sixers. He's at least 20 points in 7 straight games, averaging 26.4 over that span, shooting 39%, which I know is bad, but it's much better than it was. This is the first of a back-to-back. They play in Sacramento tomorrow. Nuggets recorded a convincing 124-95 home win over the Blazers on November 14th. Lillard wasn't in that game. These teams don't like each other. They've had playoff battles. There's no, if Jokic isn't there, the Portland's still going to want to step on their throat. So Portland, a healthy group. Nuggets have won 12 of their past 15 regular season meetings and eliminated Portland 6 games first round playoff series last year. Take it, or Pete, let's start with you. Do you have any feel in a move on Nuggets Blazers?
No, I mean, I will just echo everything you just said. I won't repeat any of it, and that all made me think that Portland minus the points, maybe Portland first half, and maybe the Portland team total over are obvious plays. You disagree with that, Skee?
I don't disagree with it. Really quick, and I'm sorry to do this, but I'm going back to a couple comments here from the comment section. I just want to address. They say a lot of things about the Lakers, and just saying that they haven't been really good versus. I just wanted to point out the Knicks don't have a winning record at home. The Knicks are 3-6 as a home favorite. The Knicks have covered one of their last 6 games. The Lakers are 2-1 as a road dog. So, hey, all the stuff you guys are throwing out, make sure you guys look at that too. For this Portland side, you got to like the Blazers in this game. They got to, for one, first of all, the last time these teams played, the Nuggets spanked them. They lost by like 30 points. And, Chauncey Billups was talking about it after the game. He's saying he was kind of disappointed in his team not really giving effort and just not really showing up for a game versus an opponent that they lost to in the playoffs. So, since then, we've seen Portland win 3 games. You saw Lillard score 39 in his last game. He's shooting the ball better. He's playing better. And it's a rest advantage here for Portland. They're playing their second game in 6 days. Denver's playing their 4th in 6 days. Jokic is on the injury report. Blazers. Nuggets, what have they? They've lost 4 games in a row. They've covered 1 out of 5. I think they're 2-4 as a road dog. Blazers, 6-1 at the house. It's a one-way ticket for me. Blazers here.
And is this number acceptable? Oh, it says there's a 6 available. Let me just double check and see if there is available. I don't see any
At
available.
Pinnacle, I can quote 6 minus 111.
Oh, beautiful. Perfect.
Yeah.
That's by far the best I can find. Is that what you'd like, Skee?
Yep.
Blazers minus 6 at minus 111. Yeah, Crystal Warren, great to have you back in action with us. We've missed you. Okay, so there we go. Pete,
Well, wait,
does that
let
make
me put some stuff on here, Jim.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'll put on Portland first half minus 3 minus 112. I'll do that. minus 3 minus 112. That's a Pinnacle line right now. And then Skee, if you had to have either the Portland team total over at 109.5 or the Denver team total under at 103.5, which would you take and why?
That is a tough question because, like I said, I do trust Portland a lot in this game. But the pace for both of these teams, last 5 games, dead last for Denver and bottom 5 for Portland. So, that's going to scare me off of expecting points here. Granted, you have 2 teams not really playing the best defense, but if you're playing that slow, I don't really want my money on a team total over. So I would prefer for the tired team in Denver in a game that should be slow pace to stay under.
Yeah, because, the last time they put up 220 in that last game total. So do you think that their recent paces are just a little bit of an anomaly, or that's just who they are as teams?
It's just who they are as teams. Denver, for sure, they play slow. They are really efficient on offense. Like, even as slow as they played, they've gone over 4 of their last 5 games now looking at it. And you can, think back previous years. You see them play playoff series first teams and continually go over the total. And Portland, it's just a matter of if they're making their threes or not. So, it could go either way. I like your play on the Blazers first half. And based on pace, it's hard for me to want to go over. That's all.
Yeah. And Denver does tend to go a little bit higher scoring in the first halves on the road as well, just recently. So, all right, okay. I won't try to force the issue. I'll just stick with that one play, Jimmy the Bag.
Pete is on the Blazers first half at minus 3. I have some hesitancy about the first half spot here just because of how bad the Nuggets lost at Phoenix on Sunday night and how they gave up 48 points in the first quarter. So I have a fear. That's the reason why I'm not doubling up. I have a fear that the Nuggets do come out of the gate better.
That's a great point, Jimmy the Bag, though. I mean,
I would try to talk you more into if you're going to add something, Pete, the Blazers full game. I mean, you really want to bet against Denver getting tired over the course of this game because they played so many games in such a short span compared to Portland.
Yeah. All right. You know what? I'll just double up. I'll take the 6 minus 111 as well. I'll take both.
All right. Full game -6, -111. Nick Schnizzle is also doubling up on that spot. Okay, let's move on to the final game on the NBA slate. And next up, we have NCAA basketball with Maxwell Smart. 10:30 p.m. Eastern. Dallas Mavericks 9-7, 3-6 on the road. At Los Angeles Clippers 10-7, 8-3 at home. We're at Staples Center in Los Angeles, California. Dallas paced 24th at 96.10 possessions game over the last 5. Clippers 15th at 97.70. I have a fear that I might not have pressed last 5 games. I wonder if
Are you looking at pace?
Yeah, is that full? Did I not press? I might not have pressed. That might be full season pace.
I know the last 5 games I have Clippers 15th and Dallas 24th. I don't really look
Okay,
at
so
the
then
numbers.
I did do it right. So yeah, Dallas 24th, 96.10 possessions a game. So I had this nightmare that I was giving out wrong information. Clippers 15th, 97.70 possessions a game. Okay, so let's move over to the Clippers. Open up as 5.5 point favorites. That's where they stand right now. This total has gone up. Opened up at 207.5. It's up to 210.5. THC is Rizza says Mavs spot. Billy Friedrich says Mavs +3 first half. Good first half team. Bad first half team. Going to sprinkle the first half Mavs money line too. Mark Rizzardo says, is Luka healthy? He is not healthy. This is from Roto World. They said that he aggravated his left knee ankle injury while running through a scrimmage after Monday's practice. He's still being listed as questionable, but they say that with this update, he feels closer to doubtful. Now, that's just from Roto World, so we'll see. The teams just met here. Crypto 97-91 win for the Clippers on Sunday night. Mavs 3rd straight loss, snapped the Clips 2-game losing streak. KP goes for 25 and 8, 6 straight points late in the game to try to get them in there. Brunson had 20 points with 8 assists. Nobody else did anything. So they shot 20% from 3. Clips got 29 from George, 23 from Reggie Jackson. Maxi Kleber probable for Tuesday's game. Ntilikina being ruled out. Marcus Morris on the other side probable for Tuesday's game, and Batum is in COVID protocols. Pete, anything you want to have, any involvement you want to have here?
I mean, it just seems like whether Luka's in or out, it seems like Dallas has got to be the play here. The Clippers are not a particularly inspiring team ATS-wise. Why would we not take Dallas plus the points? Skee Profit.
I'm not a big believer in Dallas in this spot. I know they've covered 4 of their last 5 games. They've been getting more points than what we're being offered here tonight. Like, it's been more 8.5, and them losing by 7 points, stuff like that. Like all year long, when they lose a game, it hasn't been less than 6 points. Like, it's always been a bigger margin. So if you think Dallas is going to win this game, that's I guess, but I like the Clippers. They're playing good defense, top 5 defensive rated team here. They've been rebounding the ball better than Dallas. And I think you just have to know, it didn't work out for me in the NFL. I took, Seahawks +2.5 at plus money. And just thinking that Murray's not going to be in this game because they have a bye week. Why are they going to rush him back? Kind of feel like the same about Luka. If he's not 100% healthy, they have 3 days off after this game. I think that's what you do. You take your time, let him get healthy, and once he's officially ruled out, then you're going to get that higher number on the Dallas side. So I would take advantage of the Clippers now while you have this 5.5.
Trotwam agrees. Danny A agrees. Sammy looking at player perform. Paul George double and Clippers win. Player performance and win. I get it. I'm a little nervous moving on it, but I completely get the breakdown. Pete, is there anything you want to add here?
Yeah, I might be screwing myself in some kind of minor way here, but I'm going to take Dallas first half +3 -110. I'm seeing that at Pinnacle right now. Maybe they can't hang the whole game, but I think they'll come back and try to play a tough first half. So I'll take it. Dallas +3 -110 first half. Whatever.
Skee, is there anything you want to make official here?
Yeah, I like the Clippers. I wanted to ask you really quick. Like, what are you nervous about? You don't like the number for the Clippers, or
No, not at all. My ROI in the two games in the same city
okay?
for having two similar outcomes, or missing a spot and then taking it is just a little bit negative. Not a lot negative. It's just a little bit negative. So it's just that's the only now it really is a different bet because without that call, when the challenge there on that late dunk that was the and one, without that call, that this could have been a Dallas. It's possible this was a Dallas win. So it's not like the Clippers comfortably won. So we're actually looking for a different outcome in this second game. So it doesn't fully. So when I think about it from that way, I understand why you are on the Clippers -5, and I don't think that my idea, because it wasn't a comfortable win, but we're betting on a comfortable win now. That's the idea, right?
I mean, they won by 6. That's all you got to win by tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, I certainly am not going to take the other side. So
Hey, Jim, also, Billy Friedrich hooked me up with Mavs +3 -108 at Bookmaker. So I'll take that. Shout out to Billy Friedrich.
Yeah, thanks, Billy.
Change it to 108.
Yeah, I will right now. So let's get Skee the best line available for Clippers -5.5. And I've got, is it -104 at Pinnacle? That's what I have here, Pete?
Which one?
Clippers -5.5 at -104 at Pinnacle?
Yeah.
All right. I think I might run with you here, Skee. I agree.
Let me ask you one more question, and then you might decide. Like, if this game, if at the end of the day we know Luka's out, and you see the Clippers -7.5, are you gonna be like, damn it, I should have took 5.5 earlier? Because Luka's not gonna play, Jimmy.
Yeah, I don't think Luka's gonna play. You're right. You're being gifted a 2-point at least, or no, I'd say a 1.5 at least, possible 2-point gift here by taking the Clippers right now. I agree with that, and who wouldn't want to take that?
Yeah, that's why I just think I mean, I don't want to tell you what to do with your money. I'm just saying it's not gonna be there later. That's all.
No, I think it's a very, very valid, important point. I think I might roll with you. I'll see if it's available here in a second. There you have it. 4-game NBA breakdown from our special guest, Skee Profit, who is 8-3 on the show, plus 4.7 units, average line -109. Let's review the NBA action here. Sadly, I'm on the Lakers at +5, -115. When I could have got a +6 had I waited. Skee did wait patiently and took the +6. Neither of us have moved on the Heat Pistons game, but I kind of lean towards the Pistons there. Then Skee's on the Blazers -6 at -111. Pete's on the Blazers first half -3, full game -6 at -111. I got the Blazers -5.5 this morning when I bet the Lakers. Then we have Pete on the Mavs first half +3 at -108. Skee on the Clippers full game -5.5 -104. And I think that I want to jump in on that as well. And I very will. Jesus, what the hell's wrong with me? Skee, thank you so much for rolling with us, my man. We love having you on the show. You can catch Skee Profit here every Tuesday on Loshak and The Bag. Skee, any last words for the great cappers and also Dutch Boy Fresh, man? Getting in your face, man.
Yeah, great working with you, Jimmy and Pete. And yeah, Dutch, I think I'm gonna go Hennessy or tequila, man. So just make sure you're ready after the Lakers take care of business tonight. They're gonna win outright. So take that.
Watch the game. Are you guys gonna watch the game?
Let's do it, Dutch. Hey, hit me up. Let's go somewhere and watch it so I can get my Hennessy or tequila tonight.
Oh, I love it. I fucking love it. Great stuff, Skee. Thanks so much for rolling with us. There he is, Skee Profit. Follow him on Twitter at Skee Profit. Mike Butler wishing everybody a happy Thanksgiving and wishes blessings to all of the families here. Thank you for that, Mike Butler. Okay, it is time to move on to NCAA basketball, and your special guest here on Loshak in the Bag is the CupCake King, Maxwell Smart. Max, how are you?
Jim, I've had better days. I've also had worse days. But I'm here. I've had a cupcake. And I just watched you, Pete, and Skee work on the NBA. And even though I hate the sport, it made me want to bet it. So bravo, gentlemen. Bravo.
Thank you, Max. You're coming off a great day. I don't know how. I guess I just shut down. I cashed North Dakota on Friday and got into the black and was like, you know what? I'm just going to shut down and drink. And I wished I got on Santa Clara with you. You were so bullish on Santa Clara. And when I was putting in the records, I was like, how the hell did I not just every time that you double up or triple up so far this year, I've made at least a bet on whatever side, and I've hit them every time. And I don't know why I didn't. But Santa Clara first half -9, full game -15, team total over 75.5, win, and the North Dakota money line. You are 26-22 on the show, hitting at 54.2%, plus 2.51 units, ROI plus 5.23%, average line -102. We have Kev Riley with early games in college basketball. Yale -1.5, Towson -1.5. Says they go off early. Please ask Maxwell Smart if he likes them. I will copy and paste that and ask him. Now let's get to work. Also, we have Pete has slipped back a little bit on our show. He's 10-12 on the show, down 3.23 units, but a very, very small sample size. And I know that Pete.
Yeah, I mean, I'm capping all these games. It's just like I don't know how much. I don't want to tweet out 100 picks a week. You know what I mean? And then Jimmy the Bag has to sit there entering 100 of my stupid college basketball picks just so that I can be up 1.5% instead of down 3%.
Well, but you are welcome to, though, Pete. You hold a special place in my heart. All right, let's get right to work here. We have a Taint play today as well. But first, we're going to focus on Maxwell's action, and we start in the Maui Invitational. Wisconsin Badgers 3-1 at the 12th ranked Houston Cougars 4-0. And the Maui Invitational is in Vegas because you can't have fans in Maui right now. So we're at the Michelob Ultra Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. Let's move over to NCAA and get the most recent odds and go from there. Here we go. Get that copied and pasted. Oh, that Yale game's on right now. So we can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got that one -1 as well.
It's 9-9 and 148.5 live total. So early scoring to start it.
But if you need in the game coming up, what do you think about Milwaukee, Max? I took them -2 over Bowling Green, now 2.5.
Yeah, I disagree on that. I'm all over Bowling Green. I don't trust this Milwaukee team without a proper point guard. We're already seeing the dysfunction, and as good as Pat Baldwin is, I need more.
Okay, we'll talk about that maybe later because Milwaukee was supposed to be a lot better along with the Wright State this year, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on with these teams.
We'll ask about the Towson spot once we get through Max's action. Okay, Max's action starts at 5 p.m. As I said, Wisconsin, Houston opening up as 6.5-point favorites, now 7.5. This total sitting at 122.5. Sorry, here's pages of notes here. Wisconsin bounced back from their 63-58 home loss to Providence last week by opening up the Maui Invitational last night with a 69-58 win over Texas A&M as 3-point favorites. Johnny Davis scored 21. Brad Davison added 19. Houston opened up their Maui Invitational last night with a 70-52 win over Butler as 10-point favorites. They were dominant, up 17-0 early. Fabian White Jr. went for 21. They were up 41-20 at the half. Max, here we go. Wisconsin. We'll start with Pistol Pete. Yeah. Wisconsin, Houston. Pete, you have a look here?
Both these teams are impressive right now. Obviously, Houston's been a bit more so. Houston has been a great first half team so far. They've laid the hammer down. Wisconsin, not really. But, with Davis back for Wisconsin in this game, I was thinking maybe Wisconsin first half, if not the full game. I mean, Houston rotates a few more guys, so I don't know about the full game. But I was thinking Wisconsin first half. What do you think, Max?
I definitely am looking the other side there, Pete. I think that this is a first half full game Houston spot. Mm-hmm. When we talk about coaching, this is where I think that the biggest difference between these two teams are. I think that when you have that ingraded defensive ferocity, when you go to the glass, when you box out on freaking defenders trying to grab rebounds, I just think that that's how you have to play against Wisconsin. You got to muck it up. You got to get into a rock fight. And this is another spot where I think that we're going to struggle to see both these teams score over 60 points. So with Wisconsin, the one saving grace that I see for them is that they can hold their own on the free throw line. This is a team that if you put on the free throw line, they are going to hurt you. Houston has been a little shaky, but we are liking the fact that Jamal Sheed and Tremont Mark are available, coming off the bench and playing some minutes for you. I think that if you keep Reggie Chaney, Josh Carlton, and of course, and Fabian White in your rotation out of foul trouble, I think that this experience, this physicality is just a little too much for Wisconsin. And if they're going to rely on this Hepburn freshman point guard, I'm just not going to buy that ship. You can beat A&M with this group, but I do not think that you're going to beat Houston, who is a Final Four quality type team.
Wow, what a breakdown. What a breakdown, Jimmy the Bag.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'll just add this, guys. I'll just add this. Out of the games that we've seen lined at this number for Houston, all the games have gone under. So they keep on trying to find a number that they're going to go over, and they have yet to find one. So be aware of that. First half under is definitely something I would be interested in, Jim. And then also like the first half with Houston, because we are getting the ass into the line if we take them now.
All right, let's take a look at this Houston first half and the first half under. Again, this game pops off at 5 p.m. You can have Houston -4, -104, and the total at 57.5, a -113 or -110.
Okay, I'll take it for the show.
All right, let's just move over to make sure that that's not a stale line here in that Houston game. Sorry, here we go. Yeah, it's not stale. So -4. Okay, so let's lock Max in. Max is on Houston first half -4, -104, and the first half under 57.5 at -110 available at Bet365. Pete, is there anything you would like to add?
No, great breakdown, though, Maxwell Smart. I was just thinking out loud. It's going to be a pass for me.
All right, Mark Schillingberg, great to see you. Thank you for rolling with us. Says cannot get right lately. Yeah, just take a deep breath and listen and see if something correlates with your plan and then attack. We move on here, 7 p.m. Eastern. Hartford Hawks 0-4, 0-1 on the road at Merrimack. Warriors 3-3, 2-0 at home. We're at Hamel Court in North Andover, Massachusetts. Max had such a great read on these Hartford Hawks last season. Sorry, I'm on first half. Let me move back to full game here. And there we go. Okay, 7 p.m. We have Merrimack opening up as 5-point favorites. That's moved to 4. This total opened up at 123. It's now either at 122 or 121.5. Hartford comes in off their 4th straight loss to open the season, 75-70 at home to Boston University. Sunday is 3.5-point dogs. Only that season-opening road loss to Wagner was by double digits. The last 3 have all been tight losses. After defeating Lehigh at home Friday night, 55-45, Merrimack went on the road, got beaten up badly, 72-43 at Virginia Tech. On Sunday is 18.5-point dogs. Hartford, Merrimack. Pete, is there anything that interests you here?
Merrimack is obviously a way better team, but they're playing their 4th game in 7 days. Hartford is a lot better rested, and it's one of these games with super low total. But I was thinking maybe even a shot with the first half under at 58, that -118 might be worth a play. I'm just wondering if Merrimack might be a little bit tired out here and they won't be able to do what they're doing. I don't know if I'd want to take Hartford. I'm very interested to hear what Maxwell Smart has to say, but I'm wondering if Hartford is there's a lot of turmoil around the program this year because they might drop to Division III, but they won the American East last year, and I'm thinking maybe Hartford first half or full game might also be worth a look. What do you think, Max?
So, Pete, with this Hartford-Merrimack matchup, this is a spot where Merrimack did welcome themselves to D1 basketball against Hartford in 2019, and they did beat them by 4 points, and that game only landed on 120. I think that with this Hartford team, we do have to take notice of the fact that this is not a Tracy Carter-led team anymore. This is a little softer of a team, and they don't have DeJuan Clayton, the point guard that they grabbed from Coppin State, in the lineup. So it's just putting a lot of pressure on Moses Flowers and DJ Mitchell, and I just don't think that you get enough consistent offense from them. I think that when you look at Hartford, they're going to have problems matching up with so many different ball hawks at different positions. Because if you try to slow it down and throw it down to the low post to Kimbrough or Hunter Marks, you're going to get a double team and you're probably going to get a turnover. This is a very good ball hawking half-court defense Merrimack team. They can pressure you as well. I think that the key for them is three-point shooting. If they can get their three-point shot going, they can minimize the fact that They don't shoot free throws very well, but they don't put opponents on the free throw line very often. I think that also, when you look at it, first half, I would have to be looking the other way, Pete. I have to be looking at Merrimack, because when I look at Hartford, they're the ones that have had trouble getting going and had to make their adjustments at halftime. So this is a number also when we look at the total. If you like the full game under, I'd rather take the first half under. There won't be any trickery, fouls, or any of that shit going on. So, Jim, if you can get a 58.5 at DraftKings for the first half under, I'd love to take that. And I just think that with Merrimack, they may not be able to win this game for 40 minutes, but I think they can win this game for 20. So I like Merrimack first half as well.
A hell of a breakdown. Is there a 58.5 at DraftKings? Because I'm seeing 58 at Pinnacle.
I saw 58.5 at DraftKings.
Do you know what the juice was on that? Because I've got FanDuel up, but not DraftKings.
I thought it was minus 116 last time I looked.
Minus 116. Let's see what we have here. If there's also a, I don't think it's going to be first half. First half total.
Well, it's cutting it close, but I'll join you on that one, Maxwell Smart, even if I have to take 58. Cutting it very close. But, Hartford is very questionable offensively, and I think Merrimack can do what they do for at least a half. Maybe they'll have to let up a little bit in the second half. But
Pete, let's just get a freaking 28-25 first half. Beautiful.
Yes.
That would work for everybody.
So Pete is on that too.
First half under, yeah.
Okay, and then are you also on Merrimack first half, Max?
No.
Yes, sir.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Max is on Merrimack first half. Let's line shop for him there. Head over to the first half. Again, this game pops off at 7 p.m.
Should I ask Max a question while you're line shopping, Jimmy the Bag?
Yeah, absolutely.
Maxwell Smart, Wright State. Weren't they supposed to be a lot better this year?
They were actually supposed to take a step backwards this year because they don't have Luden Love, and they didn't have Jalen Hall, who booted off for Moorhead State. So I was actually looking at them downsizing. But I'll say this, Grant Basile, when he's on, he is one of the toughest guys that no one knows about to stop down low. And he has the three-point shot. So obviously right now, that's what's going on because they're up 10 on James Madison.
Wow. Quickly, we have...
Right, there you go. Yeah, I like them this... Okay, there you go. Okay, yeah, they're winning. Yeah, okay. Step back, sure, but I was a little bit surprised by, or shocked, I would say, by some of the results. I was expecting a big bounce back against George Washington. That didn't happen. But I did take him against JMU. Okay, all right. Thank you, Max.
FanDuel hanging a 3.5 and a 1.5. So the first half is at 1.5. So by far the best on the board. It costs minus 115, but is that worth it for you, Max?
AMXA.
Okay, I think we have a frozen.
AMXA. Oh no.
I bet you it is. I'm going to put it here right now, Max. First half. Oh, I think I see him moving now.
You didn't hear me? Yeah, I'll take it.
No, you froze for a second. Max, first half. Minus
for a second, I just felt like what teams feel like when their huge star goes out. Oh no, he's out again. Luka Doncic is out.
Okay.
Oh no.
So Max is on Merrimack first half.
Next man up, Jimmy the Bag. Next, just you and me here, baby. We got no Sidney
Crosby. I'm ready, Pete. I'm ready for my call.
Oh, okay, great. We called someone up from the AHL. It's all we got, so we're gonna go with it. You know what I'm saying? Who is this guy? Jose Bouquet. That's who we got. Next man up.
I see Max backstage. Let's see him. Let's bring him on and see if he's good to go. There he is. Max, so I got you first half minus 1.5, minus 115.
Yeah, that works for me, Jim. Just on a side note, fuck you, Rogers Communications. Get your fucking act together and get my 5G working properly.
All right. I like the edge. Let's move on to 8 p.m. Eastern.
Wait, I'm sorry, what was the line on the first half under?
The first half under, we gave you guys the DraftKings line, 58.5 at minus 116.
Okay. All right. That's current?
I don't have DraftKings up right now.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So I'll you know what? I'll pull up.
It's all right. I didn't mean to. Come on. We got people to entertain here. Yeah, I hear you.
They don't always let me in DraftKings. They
Watch 3 Jerk-Offs line shop here at Pub Sports Radio.
next up on Max's card, Kennesaw State Owls, 2-3. Use that loosely. They two Div 2 colleges get their wins. All 3 losses against Div 1 teams. Wake Forest, Demon Deacons 4-0 at home at Lawrence. Joel Veterans Memorial Coliseum, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. So this game pops off at 8 p.m. Let's start with Wake Forest. First half, 9.5-point favorites. They opened up. They're now 9-point favorites. Let's see what it is full game here. All right, just taking a second. Here we go. We have the Wake Forest opening up at 17.5-point favorites and now at 16.5. This total opened up at 141.5 and is now at 143. So after beating those 2 Div 2 colleges, Kennesaw State lost 97-78 at home to Belmont on Friday as 16-point dogs. Wake Forest has won all 4 games so far this year comfortably by double digits. They're coming off an 87-63 win at home over North Carolina A&T as 15.5-point favorites. Pete, did you take a look at Kennesaw State Wake Forest?
Yeah, you see, this is why college basketball is so tough to keep records on, because the lines move so much, they move so quickly. This is a tough one. Wake Forest obviously has been excellent this year, 3-1 ATS so far in games like these. Kennesaw, a crappy team, but we don't know exactly what we're going to get from them. They did cover numbers like these against Creighton and Iowa State, but Wake Forest have been playing a little bit faster, and I took a shot with the first half over, but that was when it was 66. Now I'm seeing it's higher at 67.5 minus 114 at Pinnacle, which is not great. If it was still 66, I was going to give that as an official play, and I would have, I would have thrown that out there. But now 67.5, I don't know. This is college basketball for you, Jimmy the Bag. I'm thinking that once again a relatively brisk pace from Wake Forest. What do you think, Maxwell?
Yeah, I was basically having a fit of anger where I was slamming and punching my desk before I came on, because I'm looking at all my games. I'm like, fuck, I want to give out Houston full game. Can't do that. Want to give out freaking Wake Forest? It's that. So I was a little frustrated. And I agree with you. Wake Forest first half has to be the play. When we've seen Kennesaw put up close to 35 to 40 points in the first half, even against a D2 opponent, that will give me some pleasure. I think that with Wake Forest, they're going to have to play the tempo that they played against Belmont. And I don't think that is going to work out long-term for them. I think that with Wake Forest, they scheduled this game to have cupcakes so that this team can build some confidence. And with Alondis Williams, the Oklahoma transfer, coming in, he has been absolutely fantastic. I think that when you look at him and Jake LaRavia, the added elements and size at key skill positions that weren't there last year, and it allows Coach Forbes to go with a multitude of different lineups. I'm highly impressed with how this Wake Forest team is playing against this level of competition. It's hard for me not to like them first half, full game, team total over, and of course the first half over, which is the play I'm going to make official. I'll take that 67.5 minus 114, Pete, and I'll love it because it's going to fucking cash. Wake Forest is going to put up 40 plus. Kennesaw will do the rest. They'll fuck with their eyes open, and Spencer Rogers for Kennesaw will stay out of foul trouble, and he'll make just enough threes and free throws to help us but not beat us.
That's interesting. All right, I'll go on the first half over with you as well. I did bet it at 66. Now it's up to 67 or 67.5. Jimmy the Bag, how about this? How about you line shop for a few seconds to get us the best first half over? And while you're line shopping, I can pepper Max with a few questions about college basketball myself. How about that? Is that not a good idea?
We do have one more game.
I know, but I'm just saying, what line are we going to get? 60. We're going to take the Pinnacle line on this one?
No, I'm going to look at FanDuel here, but if you want to ask questions on different games, I just want Max to have gone through his 4 first.
Okay, yeah, sure. I was just going to ask him about in general, but yeah.
Okay, sure. If it's general, no, hit him with general for sure. Hit him.
Just because, yeah, it's 67.5 minus 114 at Pinnacle. There's probably a 67 minus 110 at one of these DraftKings types books out there, or bookmaker or whatever.
I have over 67.5 at minus 112.
I'll take that for $2.
Right.
That's a Tim Hortons donut because they raised the goddamn prices another 10 cents. Those sons of bitches.
God, college basketball, these lines friggin' move so much.
That's why you got to be a day ahead of the bookmakers, Pete. You got to be ready for when they drop.
When we're doing the shows, it's like you can't give stale lines. You know what I mean?
Of course.
All right.
But you can brag about
over
them.
63, which is what I got it at 4 o'clock yesterday. Jesus. All right. 67.5 minus 112. We'll take it.
Max and Pete are both on that. Is there anything else you want other than that first half over, Max?
I want to take Wake Forest team total over.
All right. Are you going to?
Yeah, let's make it official for the show, Jim. Shop for me for a number, please and thank you.
Pete, could you look at what it is at Pinnacle while I look here?
Yeah, the team total for Wake Forest is 79.5 minus 114, which I was also leaning that way for sure. But it's just that is Wake Forest going to be motivated to have another super high scoring game like that the whole way through? Probably, but. You saw what happened in their William and Mary game. I could easily see, that kind of a game as well, where it sneaks under. Even though that one went under in the first half too. But I would agree with the Wake Forest team total over. I mean, they're just they're playing a faster pace. They're putting up 80 plus every game, and there's definitely no reason to think that Kennesaw will stop them. And there's no reason to think that they won't try to do the same thing here against Kennesaw. Although you never know. Teams like Wake Forest, in these kinds of games, sometimes they unexpectedly try different things out in these kinds of games. So it's, always be prepared for the unexpected in college basketball. So that's why I don't really want to double up or take the Wake full game team total over.
I think that with Wake Forest, Jim, this team definitely has the flair, the experience, the depth now that they didn't have last year. And seeing Kennesaw play Creighton so tough, play Iowa State so tough, they're definitely going to be on red alert. They don't want to be the next ACC embarrassment, losing as a double-digit favorite to a bye game. So I think they come ready to play.
What was the juice associated with the team total over?
Minus 112.
112, minus 112.
Minus 112. All right. Wake Forest team total over 79.5 for Max, and the first half over 67.5 for both Max and Pete. The final game on Max's card. Then we have a couple questions. 10 p.m. Eastern, Portland Pilots 4-1, 0-1 on the road at Portland State Vikings, 2-1, 2-0 home at Viking Pavilion in Portland, Oregon. Game pops off 10 p.m. Eastern. The move towards Portland's coming fast and furious. The first half opened Portland State -5. Now down to 3.5. Let's move over to the full game here. We have, it's taking a second here. We have the full game sitting at 9. Sitting at 9 right now. Wow, how is that possible? That can't be possible.
No, it definitely,
it was at 6.5.
It opened at 9. Now it's down to 6.5.
That makes sense. So it's just the stale lines here on this page. My fault. After opening the season with a 76-60 loss at Arizona State, the Pilots have won 4 straight. They're coming off a 74-63 win at home over the Morgan State Bears as 3.5-point favorites. Portland State opened their season with a 73-64 loss at Oregon State as 13.5-point dogs. They look good. They followed that up by blowing out 2 Div 2 colleges that meant very little. Pete, did you take a look at Portland State?
Yeah, I mean, both these teams have new coaches, and Portland State in particular has a particularly psychotically positive and motivating coach. But I was going to, maybe think about giving Portland at +9. Of course, it's a rivalry game, and Portland, is decent this year, looking like what they're, with all their new pieces, they're coming out decent. But again, classic college basketball. If it were 9, I would have given it. Now it's 6.5 and 6 in some places. So I don't think I can do that. Historically, this has been a very high-scoring matchup. The total's gotten bet up 3 points as well. So I guess it's going to be a pass for me right now. I'm interested to hear what Max has to say about the current lines.
Yeah, Pete, I think that this is a reversal of fortunes. I think that we see trends build up and then we do see them even out and revert back. And I think that this could be a matchup where we see it revert back. I've seen this line go as high as 148 already this morning. So it's been going up and down. People don't know where it is. And when that happens, I just trust my number. And when I trust my number and it cashes for me, I get cupcakes. And I want cupcakes, Pete. I'm hungry. I'm losing weight sitting here. Okay. So when I look at this matchup, plain and simply, I like what Shante Leggins is bringing to this Portland Pilot program. I think that against the Vikings on the road, this is a great opportunity for them to not be the favorite in a different betting situation. And at 9, they had a ton of value. I think now I'm not going to take the ass end of it. I would take the first half money line, Jim, if you can shop for me for a number. Let's go big or go home. But
For Portland?
For Portland. Yeah, for Portland. I think that they're going to come in, they're going to win this game. I think that they're going to win it in the first half. I think that we're going to see it early. This is a Portland team that makes their free throws. They have guys that have continuity and chemistry that came over from Eastern Washington. And I just think that they've challenged themselves much more difficultly than Portland State has. They only have the one D1 game against Oregon State, and that was a 73-64 loss where they did struggle to keep the ball. They struggled to make free throws. They struggled to hit threes. So I'm not convinced that this Portland team is ready to rock and roll. I think that they will have advantages with Khalid Thomas down low. But from a guard perspective, I like this Meadows kid. I like how he can get into the lane and hit that little freaking leading jumper. And I think that if they can keep the turnovers down, their ball facilitation will get them buckets and win with defense, baby. That's what this Portland team is going to do. So I'll take the under 147 that you can get a bet online, Jim. And I'll take the Portland first half money line. Let's grind.
I can find not all books are offering it. I can find a plus 167 at Pinnacle.
Yeah, and I'm looking at that. You can get plus 167 at Pinnacle, or you can get plus 3.5. But just a word to the wise: the hold percentage on the spread is much lower than on the first half money lines. So long term, you definitely don't want to be betting into lines that have a very high hold percentage. So if you want to take plus 167, go ahead. But the vig on the spread is much lower than on the money line that Pinnacle's offering right now.
Plus 167 right now on the first half. And then, sorry, Max, did you have a total that you were using with that?
Yeah, that was from Bet Online.
Okay, what was it, first half?
147 minus 115.
Full game.
Full game.
Well, but Billy Friedrich is telling us 147.5 minus 108 at Bookmaker.
Sounds good to me, Billy. Thank you very much, as always.
Simon Says Bet says plus 175 on the Portland first half at Heritage.
Oh, thank you, guys.
That sounds even better. Thank you, guys. I appreciate your line shopping.
That's great. Thank you guys so much for your help. Portland first half at plus 175, full game under 147.5 at minus 108. We had a couple questions, but first, let's discuss the Taint play of the day. The Taint play of the day coming to us from Matty Ice is in the Cincinnati game. Let me pull it up right now. But he's on Cincinnati at plus 5.5 for sweet Taint. I am looking for this spot against Arkansas at 9:30 p.m. tonight. And Matty Ice on the dog here, Max. What do you think of the Taint spot tonight?
Yeah, I think that he's on the right path right now. I think that when you get some really nice lady Taint like the Cincinnati Bearcat team is going to be, you just want to pay it some attention. And with the Taint play of the day, I'm paying it attention right now, Jim. I like it. I like it a lot. Because you know what? I love Wes Miller. I love this UNC Greensboro strength and toughness, physicality that he's going to bring. And he's got some super budding guards that can make a difference. I think that losing A.J. McGinnis is definitely a loss, but not a loss that's going to sink this team. I want to see David DeJulius. I want to see Johnny Newman take big steps forwards offensively. And listen, with Jeremiah Davenport, he's your star. He's your freaking mid-range guy. He's the guy that's got to be on. And if he's on against this Arkansas team, they can play slow. They can play fast. And with Arkansas, they're still working all these pieces in. We're seeing guys like Chris Likes and Stanley Yamudi coming off the bench. not really shooting a high percentage, but getting to the free throw line. I don't think they're going to be able to do that like they were against K-State, against Cincinnati tonight. I think Cincinnati rolls. I think Cincinnati's a straight-up money line dog play as well. So tip the hat to the Taint play of the day. Let's get some Taint.
Taint play approval. Pete, did you look at that Cincinnati spot?
No, not yet, but just a couple comments. First of all, Billy Friedrich corrected himself. It's 147 minus 104 at Bookmaker on the total for that Portland State game.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I have. 147.
And also, I will join Maxwell Smart on that one as well. I think that, there's two new coaches in these programs, and so we're going to see something a little bit different from what we've seen before. That was a great analysis, Maxwell Smart, and I agree with it, and I'm willing to put that one on my record. I'll take the under 147 at minus 104 as well.
Okay, that's Max. And then Max, we had Kevin asking about this game that pops off in an hour and 25 minutes at 2 p.m. Eastern. That game being Pennsylvania, Towson. Towson opening up as 2.5-point favorites, now 1.5-point favorites. This total's dropped fast from 138 down to 134. Max, you taking a look at it?
Yeah, I've looked at it. I bet it. I think that when you look at this game, Jim, Towson is going to have their hands full with Jordan Dingle. We just got a good dose of Jordan Dingle in this last showcase that Penn played in. And I think that with this total, I definitely had the under vibes about it, but seeing this 4-point line movement is definitely making me want to reconsider and take the over. I'll definitely say that, yes, this is a game against a slow tempo team that they should be able to keep under. We have seen two games that have barely gotten past 134, but it's just hard for me to jump on that under, getting the ass end of it, even though I really want to. I think from a side perspective, if Towson does get good play from Nicholas Timberlake, I think that that's going to go a whole lot. It's going to go a whole lot for Towson in the long run, but they need guys like Cam Holden and Antonio Rizzuto to have strong offensive performances and Terry Nolan to be a lockdown defender on the perimeter. I think that there is a very good shot. We see that type of effort today. They almost beat Pittsburgh. I think that they rebound and they smack Penn in the mouth. So I agree over there with Towson.
I absolutely love it. Are any of those last two spots that you want to make official, or are you comfortable with the card that you gave out?
No, I'm comfortable with the card I gave out. I'm going to give out more picks at 5 o'clock. So
I love it. You can catch Max at 5 p.m. Eastern alongside Connor Mack for NCAA Net Profits. There were a couple questions from Mario White. Mario, that is the show to ask Max questions. They do go into a question and answer period. The question, and none of those games pop off before 5 o'clock. So Mario, join Max with CMAC and fire away. Save 20 minutes for question and answer period. Max, great stuff coming off a 4-2 winning day. Let's review Max and Peter's action again. I'm going to sit back and.
Do we have? Hey, Jim.
Yeah.
Do we have time for me to just shout out two college games?
My bad. Yes, please.
Them, but just shout them out and get a 2
Yeah,
seconds.
you can do more than two, my man. My bad.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can do more than two as well.
Oh no! All right, I just two plays. Again, the lines moved though. I did take San Jose State +6 against Northern Colorado, although that's now gotten bet down to 4 or 4.5. San Jose State is obviously not an impressive team, and they're their kind of team that like I bet on and get 54% or 55% winners with them. But some of the losers are by like 30 points, and if I give it publicly, people be like, "This guy has any clue what he's talking about?" But I took San Jose State +6 against Northern Colorado, and another obvious play. I think I took over 154 in the St. John's game. Now it's up to 155, but St. John's, of course, is playing a very fast-paced, high-scoring style right now. They're back at home against, the St. Francis Brooklyn, who will accommodate that style, I think. So I took that one at 154, and I didn't take the first half yet, but I might jump on that one as well. Those are two plays that I took, Maxwell Smart.
Yeah, I agree with the St. John's play. I also like St. John's team total in the spot. This could be a game where they score 95 plus. I think that with St. John's having so much depth now and so many different options for this roster, I think that Coach Anderson definitely doesn't have to go big all the time. I think that when they go small, that is when they are going to score the most. And with Posh Alexander and Champagne freaking on the ones and twos, it's hard not to like that. I think that with San Jose State, I definitely like San Jose State first half more than full game, because we have seen Northern Colorado really be a decent second half team. And as far as the total in that game, just quickly, I wish I got the under 140 at 136.5. It's unbettable for me.
Look at that, Jimmy the Bag. He's got all the friggin' names memorized. He's not reading off a prompter there. That's from memory.
That is
incredible, right?
Sweet memory. He caps college basketball 365 days a year. That's why we need him on our show.
Unreal.
This is a review of action here. Taint play today, Cincinnati +5. Max is on Houston first half -4, -104 in the first half, under 57.5 at -110. Max is on the first half under 58.5 in Hartford Merrimack. So is Pete. And Max is on Merrimack first half -1.5, -115. Mario White, every day, Monday to Friday, they have a show together for NCAA basketball called Net Profits at 5 p.m. Eastern here on Pub Sports Radio. Then both Max and Pete are on the first half over 67.5 at -112 in Kennesaw State Wake Forest. And Max is on the Wake Forest team total over 79.5. Ottinger confirmed for Dallas. I'm fine with that, because I do think that Dallas money line is the best spot on the board now. Then Max is on Portland first half at +175 and the full game under 147 at -104. So is Pete. They're both on that full game under 147 at -104. Max, thank you so much for making time for us. I know your days wrapped around college basketball, especially your big 5 p.m. show. So thank you for making the time to roll with us. Have a giant day, my friend. Any last words for the great cappers supporting the show?
Well, yeah, it's always great to be with the low baggers. Always great to be reunited with the two of you. And of course, I hope that the winners can come. I hope that the analysis was good, but I hope that the winners come from that analysis. Otherwise, I may have to start freaking slapping myself with a freaking handful of whipped cream on the show. So I don't really want to do that, but I will, because it's easy to clean up and it's not going to taste bad.
There's no reason to talk about that situation here. You're 26-22. You're up units. There's no need for any of that right now. That comes in a different situation, not a winning capper. Jose's down over a unit now on his say-hey plays today. Maybe he needs to slap himself with some whipped cream. So
I think that baby powder would be better for Jose.
I agree.
Yeah,
I think one hand baby powder, one hand whipped cream.
Maybe his partner could come on camera and slap him instead of him slapping himself, because he probably won't slap himself hard enough.
You're absolutely well. No, we do force him to slap himself harder. We've had that fight on the show before, and after a little bit of prodding, he does hit himself harder.
All right.
Maxwell Smart, absolutely great work. Follow him on Twitter at CBMS420. And Max, keep up the great work. Thank you, my man.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a great day. Let's get those winners.
There is Maxwell Smart. We move on to NCAA football. Man, right when I was right in the black, I've now slipped. The Louisiana Tech team total under 33.5 was beautiful. It was so well done, and then I lose on the Washington State, Arizona under. And then what did I also lose on the Friday? I had lost 2 late games, and very, very, very frustrating. Oh, and the San Diego State UNLV under. And that made me so angry because I wanted UNLV. I got talked off of UNLV on the show and got to stick with my plan here. And I did not. So now I'm 49-48, down 4.3 units, ROI minus 4.43%. And I would like to change that right now. I'd like to change that with a little Tuesday Maction, and Pistol Pete can lead us to that glory. For those of you who don't know, Pistol Pete won a NCAA football contest that we had down in Costa Rica with 2,500 people in it, something like that.
No, less than that. But more importantly, it was the only year that they let me be eligible down there. And then after that, they were like, "We didn't know you were going to win." I was like, "Well, what do you think was going to happen?" They were like, "Okay, you're not eligible any other year." So I was like, "Okay, I'll take it."
Well, let's get right to work, Pete. 7 p.m. Eastern. Buffalo Bills 4-7, 2-5 in the MAC. At Ball State Cardinals 5-6, 3-4 in the MAC. We're in Schumann Stadium in Muncie, Indiana. 34 Fahrenheit. It is chilly, clear. 6 miles per hour is the wind. Let's move over to the market moves here. Move over to NCAA football. And Chef Louis up 10 units so far in college basketball. Says, I'm ready for heavy regression. Don't say that. Don't say that, Louis. Come on. Let's keep rolling. Okay, here we go. We have Ball State opening up as 6.5-point favorites. That's what I have them at right now. I don't know if this is stale. Again, the site's been acting up on me. This total opened up
that's right. 6.5, yeah.
Beautiful. This total opened up at 58.5, and it is now at 59.5. When we go over to the cash flow, we have 33,555 tickets in. 30% of the tickets are on Buffalo, and 56% of the cash is on Buffalo. Then we have 36% of the tickets on the under and 93% of cash on the under. These two teams met in the most recent MAC championship game, and what a difference a year makes. Ball State won that game 38-28, have beaten Buffalo 10 of their last 12 matches. Buffalo comes in off their third straight loss, 33-27 heartbreaker at home on seniors night versus Northern Illinois as 1.5-point dogs. Matt Myers made his first start in more than 2 years, the junior. Kyle Van Treese is done for the season. And I don't know, did he look okay? Maybe. I mean, he didn't make terrible mistakes until a fumble in the overtime that cost him the game. 162 yards and a touchdown. He threw 4. He ran for 43 yards. Ball State's defense is giving up 247 passing yards per game and a 67.5% completion rate. But can Matt Myers do that to them? I don't think so. The Bulls are averaging 194.1 rushing yards per game. That's third in the conference. McDuffie leads the team, third in the MAC with 982 rushing yards. Ball State gives up 171 rushing yards per game, 4.2 yards per carry. And Jalen Thomas and Clayton Cole are strong, very strong linebackers. And with Matt Myers at quarterback, look, that's the only way Buffalo's going to be used if they can run the ball on you. So I expect them to be completely prepared for that. They're coming off their second straight loss, ugly 37-17 setback at home for Central Michigan as 2.5-point dogs. And that was the full switch, right? That opened with Ball State as 2.5-point favorites, and then Central Michigan became 2.5-point favorites, and for good reason. Their offense has just stopped producing. They got 329 total yards. Drew Plitt is coming in averaging 188.4 passing yards a game. We thought he was going to have a big season. He's not had one. And Ball State needs to win to become bowl eligible. So at this point, I see Ball State with something to play for and Buffalo with very little to play for. The Cardinals, 9th in the conference in rushing offense. So they have to pass the ball. I mean, the Bulls are bad defensively, rushing or passing. The Bulls defense allowing 9.2 yards per pass them. They get sacks. They can get pressure, but they have no secondary. But can Plitt take advantage of it? That's the question. Let's hand this over to Pete. Ball State 6.5-point favorites. What do you think, Pete?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of I held back on some of my leans in Maction this year, and they wound up mostly winning. And this is the same kind of situation. I don't want to overthink myself or outthink myself. Ball State obviously seems to be the play here. They have everything to play for, and it's kind of a disaster situation for Buffalo. Although, even when teams don't have anything to play for, it's not always the case that they just come in and quit. So, you don't want to overreact and just say this game means a lot to that team. It means nothing to that team. So I'll automatically take the team where it matters. But Buffalo has a bad secondary, one of the worst secondaries that Ball State will have faced all year. And so Plitt should be able to get something done, even though he's kind of underachieved a little bit. Buffalo is also prone to giving up big plays rushing, and Ball State has some explosiveness in their run game as well. So everything just kind of points to Ball State here. And I was thinking maybe a shot with the Buffalo team total under as well. You're right. The backup quarterback coming in for Buffalo is also kind of another negative. Not exactly sure what they'll try to make him do here, what the game plan will be. But yeah, my lean will have to be Ball State, and I think I'll make it official. And then also I'll lean to the Buffalo team total under, although I don't know if I want to make that official, but I would definitely be leaning that way. It's a little bit of a guessing game what Buffalo's mindset's going to be coming in here and what they're going to actually try to do. And Ball State has been, underwhelming a little bit all season long. So are they maybe going to make an unexpected improvement in this last game? Maybe not. They should be able to get the win here by 6. If I really, really wanted to be cowardly and safe, I'd take the Ball State money line at minus 240 or whatever. But I'll just say 6.5 minus 109 as an official play, unless we can find something better with line shopping, Jim.
Why would at this point 30% of the tickets and 60% of the cash on the spread be on Buffalo Bulls? What would the thinking behind it be? Would it be that because Ball State gets one win and they're bowl eligible? What would be your? And I know you touched on it briefly, saying, it's tricky when you just count a team out here.
Yeah.
But how is this not a Ball State first half full game spot here? Isn't this a buy low opportunity for Drew Plitt and this offense that looked bad and has looked bad for them to get right, then have a bowl game? I mean, what would be the angle on Buffalo?
There's no question that relative to the market, Ball State has underachieved all season long, and especially recently. You know what I mean? You're asking why would someone want to bet against Ball State? I don't know. They were a 20-point favorite against Akron, won by 6. They were a 2.5-point dog against Central Michigan, lose by 20. Right? They a 3.5-point home favorite against Ohio, get beat down against Miami of Ohio. I can certainly see that that the market has just been overvaluing Ball State all season long, and I think that's true. Now the same can be said for Buffalo. I don't know. My numbers and all my analysis is pointing towards Ball State. I would put this line maybe about 9 or 9.5, based on the numbers I've crunched. We'll put it at like 9 or 9.5. But it's anytime there's a team where the pressure's on, and then there's a shitty team that's had a bad year at the end of the year going into a final game that means absolutely nothing for them. A lot of times psychologically, those teams do overperform. So you have to be careful about that. But again, Buffalo just had, Drew Plitt should have had a better year. Buffalo does have a very weak secondary, which he should be able to take advantage of. The line's not 7.5; it's 6.5. So I'm just answering your question a little bit in depth here, Jimmy the Bag. I'll make Ball State 6.5 an official play.
And was that minus 109?
Yeah, that's what I saw at Pinnacle. Although if we're going to be posting these records publicly, I should really be line shopping around. But yeah, 6.5 minus 109 at Pinnacle is the line right now.
Al Mel says Ball State overrated. Yeah, look, we've seen this. We've seen it all year. We've seen it all year. But now it's seniors night, and their whole season is on the line if these seniors want to play one more game. I mean, isn't that exactly the motivation you want when you're backing a team with your cash? So
yeah, yes, all the motivation is with Ball State and none with Buffalo. As far as the schedule is concerned. But that doesn't necessarily mean that in their minds, happens all the time. I mean, anyone who's played a Little League game knows that when you come in and people are like, you ain't shit, you ain't nothing. A lot of times you come in and you're like, oh yeah, watch this. So that could happen here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think this is a first half full game smash spot, but the MAC is never as easy as it looks. Mike M says curb stomp play today, Western Michigan under 61.5. Let's move to Husky Stadium in Illinois. I cannot pronounce the town that this stadium is in northern Illinois. Can you pronounce it for me, Pete?
I don't even know what let me see. Hold on one second. Let me remind me. I don't even know what the fuck it is.
I've been pronouncing it wrong for a while, and they pointed it out. Now I'm just panicking. Western Michigan Broncos 6-5, 3-4 in the MAC at Northern Illinois Huskies 8-3, 6-1 in the MAC. 36 Fahrenheit clear, chilly, but 14 mile per hour winds. Razor saying Buffalo playing the spoiler role, and he says Ball State a pass, and Cab says Buffalo probably more talented but play horrible, choke everything. This game's a pass. And Dommy Gun locked in Calgary first period minus half plus 130. Dallas under 6.5. Okay, so Pete, did you have the pronunciation for me in Illinois?
Isn't it Calb?
I don't think it is.
No,
because I've been pronouncing it quite like that. And okay, let's move on. Here we go. Western Michigan. Oh, let's first go over the market in this spot. We have Western Michigan opening up as 3.5-point favorites, and they're now 4-point favorites. This total opened up at 62.5, now 16.5. So this is a very similar spot from the game there are similarities. I shouldn't say very similar, but in the game we just broke down, Western Michigan comes in off their third loss in 4 games, 22-21 at Eastern Michigan last week as 6-point favorites. That was a great cash for us on Eastern Michigan. Wish we had the balls taking money on. They're 3-4 in conference, so we expect at 6-5 that they're probably playing a bowl game. We expect in MAC action. They're averaging 6.4 yards per play and 31.3 points per game. They're near the bottom in touchdown percentage in the red zone. They've also got a -9 turnover margin. But Caleb Ellaby's been really good all year. 2,778 yards, 16 touchdowns. And both teams are missing their lead wide receiver. So Corey Kroom's not going to be available for Michigan, freshman Michigan. On the ground, Sean Tyler is going to be running with Ladarius Jefferson. They're very, very strong. Northern Illinois comes in off their 7th win in 8 games, 33-27 in overtime at Buffalo's 1.5-point favorite. So they clinched the MAC West title. It's all over. So it's all going to be subs here. They're not going to risk injuries on the way to Detroit. So this defense, though, is being bad, but you don't want to risk injuries there either. 11th in the MAC against the run. And we know that Western Michigan has 2 different guys, really 3, but 2 guys that can run down your throat. So 6 of their wins have come by 1 score. They average 31.6 points per game. Lombardi's been just a steadying influence, having him come over. He's been so good, and that's why they're winning all the close games. And Tyrese Ritchie, one of the best receivers in the MAC, he's not going to be available, but they have other guys, Trayvon Rudolph, Cole Tucker. They have lots of different guys who can run the ball, so I don't think we're going to see Jay Tucker. I mean, this just feels like a spot where Northern Illinois is going to be playing their backups, and Western Michigan should be able to cover the 4, right?
Yeah, you're asking me?
Yeah.
No, it's been this is another tough game where you don't know exactly what teams are going to be doing and what their motivation and game plan will be. Of course, it doesn't mean anything for Northern Illinois, but once they're on the football field, you never know exactly who's actually going to wind up subbing in, who's actually going to play. I did see a commenter before saying that he liked Northern Illinois plus the points. Western Michigan last week, they played Eastern Michigan, and I did give that one, you remember? And we were discussing it, and I was like, when you're a 26-point home favorite to Akron and you barely beat them, that's a sign of something that's not good. I know Akron's improving. I don't care about that. That's a sign that your team has issues. So it's been an incredibly disappointing season for Western Michigan. They should have been a lot better. And I was going to come in here and give Western Michigan on the first half. That was before I looked at the line, at the first half line. That was what I was going to give. It's interesting that Western Michigan is a 3.5-point favorite on the game and a 3-point favorite just on the first half. So that indicates that someone thinks that someone also agrees that it's going to be a first half situation for Western Michigan. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Northern Illinois doesn't want to take a loss. But of course they're looking ahead to next week. Of course they're, going to be resting some people at least partially. Who knows what's going to? I mean, their offense is legit powerful right now. But Western Michigan should have been a lot better. And I think I will go out on a limb and take Western Michigan first half -3, -112. And if it loses, I'll deal with that pain then. But I think I'm going to give that as an official play. I agree with you, along with all the caveats that we've discussed here, that I just mentioned, that you mentioned. Northern Illinois is obviously the better team, but the situation indicates that it's hard to imagine that they'll be coming out giving 100%, at least in the first half.
See, my initial thought process would be the opposite. The starters might play the first 2 series. And then right. But the market's telling us.
My thought process would be that maybe if they get down, then maybe they try to put some fight into them in the second half. I think it's a little arbitrary whether you want to take full game or the first half. But I'll take the first half. I just think that psychologically it's the psychological factors weigh more heavily in the first half. Again, though, we don't know who's actually going to be playing, or at least I don't know, and when they're going to be playing and how much. So I'll take Western Michigan first half -3, -112, and hopefully they don't S the bet again ATS wise.
See, I made this mistake in CFL when there was just because I had this winning streak going on that's still there, 9 straight. I wasn't attacking these teams that clearly weren't playing or weren't trying, and that's now I know the MAC is very tricky, but that's happening here. You know, Ball State needs to win this football game, and Austin Hill says, I believe if Western loses, they won't be in a bowl game. Not sure if a 6-6 MAC team gets a bowl bid. And that's certainly going to be in the ears of all of the Bronco players. Was that you lose, you don't get a bowl game. You have to win. So I'm going to double up here. I'm going to take Ball State first half full game. I'm going to take Western Michigan first half full game. That's how I see this banging out at this point. So that's going to be that's my plan of action. Pete on Western Michigan -3 at -112. We have something exciting to show for you guys. I meant to open it up in our NCAA football coverage, but we have something very fun to show. And our man on the 1s and 2s, Jose Bouquet, was there live for the biggest game in school history. Jose, you want to jump on and tell us a little bit about it?
Hello, gentlemen. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, it was a good time. I went there with Helga and some friends, of course. UTSA down 4, last second drive, touchdown to score and win. UAB's coach needs to be checked for dementia for certain decisions he made at the end of the game that allowed UTSA to win. And I have Helga as my camera woman. And she records me during sporting events to catch my reaction to things. And she did so here.
Let's see it.
Okay. All right. Well, by the way, I also have a reaction of me learning that I didn't hit my bet on this game because I was convinced that I covered at that last second touchdown. And I was crestfallen to realize I didn't. So
Harris steps up. Open man. Cardinals at midfield.
Middle of the field is open.
Deep throw. Clark, the intended receiver. He has it.
Are you kidding me?
Seconds left. Harris steps up at the 5. He reaches for the end zone. He is down at the 1-yard line.
Harris takes the snap. It's low. He picks it up. He's going to throw a pass into the end zone. I don't even know what else to say. How about the unsung hero Cardinals coming up and making the biggest catch, not only in his career, but the history of this football program.
Oh, it looks good, buddy.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
and don't forget.
Okay, so post-game review. What do you have for me? You're on the field.
I lost my bet. I just realized that my feelings are hurt now.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're now a losing capper on the show again. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart to see this.
Yeah. Also, by the way, here's behind the scenes show stuff. I was told today, oh yeah, nice quick show today, 2 hours, 2 minutes, and here we are. We're right at it again.
Wow.
This is a battle, Jimmy. Did you have any cracking this morning too?
No cracking this morning. No, this is a tight show for us. 2 hours, man. We're trying to win money here. All right, this isn't just watch your team win the game and lose the bet. All right.
Well, that's what it's been for me.
All right, that's enough of him. There we go. Nice little breakdown from Jose Bouquet at the game, but he's a losing capper now, and he doesn't get the respect that he once earned. So, that'll happen. Pistol Pete Loshak, let's review our action here. Again, we have a big football show tonight. Big football show. 3 Thursday Thanksgiving games. Rob Bebenek is on tour. He's in Alberta doing stand-up comedy. So I will be joined by both Babano and CMAC. And Pistol Pete, we need to get you back on the show. You are heavily entrenched in the top 5 in our NFL Pub Hub. So not this week, but the week after, I'd like to get you on. So I'll lock that down for you.
Sure, but I mean this week. Come on, Dallas and the Dallas team total over. How do you How are you not on those? Right? No, am I wrong?
No, I don't think you're wrong at all. I've not moved on anything yet.
Okay.
But yeah, Razor says, why was Jose cheering in the video if he lost his bet? He thought he'd won his bet. He was drunk, day drunk. Okay, in NHL, Pete and I are both adding unders in Philadelphia, Tampa. He's on the under 1.5 first period at -104, and I'm on the under 5.5. I'm not sure what that is. I'll bet that as soon as it's over. I think the Dallas Stars are the best bet on the board. I got them at -110. I'm also on the over 6 at -115. Pete is on the over 6 at -105, and he's also on the Stars team total over 2.5 -158. I'm on the under 5.5 -115 in Chicago, Calgary. Pete is on doubling up. Chicago, Calgary, first period under 1.5 -107, and team total under 3.5 at -130. And Pete is 20-14 on the year, and it puts a big smile on my face, Pete. I really, really like seeing you beat NHL. It makes me really happy.
I love NFL. You know, I will say I will name the NFL as the single sport with the most low-hanging fruit out of all of them, in my opinion, right now, as I sit here. More low-hanging fruit in the NFL, in the NHL than any other sport or any other league, right?
You mean. Yeah, I agree. I've always felt that way. I've always felt in NHL when something looks so simple, it's the one sport where it is.
Right, and other sports, when something looks so simple, most of the time you lose. But so, you know.
Absolutely. There is Lamont Williams, Detroit, NBA team total solo under. Team total under for Lamont Williams for his max bet. Man, he's been killing them. He's been absolutely killing them. Then in NBA, I'm on the Lakers +5 -115. That was a mistake. Skee got them at +1 as +6 at -104. It's crazy because I could have just told everybody I got the 5.5. I literally missed the 5.5 while I was moving on it. But, and now it's at 6. Just bullshit. Skee's on the Blazers -6 and -111. Pete doubled up on the Blazers. I'm on the Blazers -5.5. That was one thing I did get, but even that was -150.
Oh shit! The Viper birthday pick. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I will not.
Oh yeah, beautiful. So I'm going to review the action, and then Pete, you close the show with the Viper birthday pick. Thank you, Vipey baby, our guy. Pete's on the Mavs first half +3 -108. Skee's on the Clippers -5.5 -104, and I agree with this look from Skee. I'm going to move on as well. Matty Ice Taint play today. Cincinnati +5.5. Oh, and what was the? Oh, and Ron Crawford spreadsheet play today is Tampa Bay Lightning. So then into college basketball, Max is on Houston first half -4 -104. First half under 57.5 -110. Max is on the first half under 58.5. Hartford, Merrimack. So is Pete, and Max is on Merrimack first half -1.5 -115. Both Pete and Max are on the first half over 67.5 in Kennesaw, Wake Forest, and Max is on Wake Forest team total over 79.5. And then Max is on Portland first half +175 in the full game under 147 at -104. And Pete is on the under 147 at -104. Then Pete's on Ball State -6.5 at -108. That's available at Bookmaker. I'm going to double up there. First half full game. And Pete's on Western Michigan -3 -112. First half, Western Michigan first half -3 -112. I'm going to double up there too. I'm going to fire away at these two games here tonight. There you have it. And then Tom Racing gave us a look at Parks in race 8. I'm going to pop that back into the chat. Pete, take it away. Our man, Viper. Pete, also, if you don't mind, in our first year working together, I was struggling mightily in NBA.
Oh, yeah.
You gave me a speech, a heartfelt speech, and I went on one of the biggest runs of my life in the pro sport.
Classic.
And I need that again. So I'd like you to do two things, Pete. I'd like you to give a birthday pick to Viper NB, and say something inspiring about his birthday, and then switch right over to me. And give
I gotta do it right now.
Right fucking now.
Okay. Which sport in general? It's
NBA. I need it in NBA, but first give the birthday pick out.
Okay. Oh my God. I'm not used to this pressure. I went back to civilian life a few years ago, Jimmy the Bag. All right. Okay. Birthday pick. Okay. Hold on. Let me do one second.
Yeah. Hydrate.
All right. You know what I'm going to do? For the birthday pick, okay. God, I could give some of these NHL plays. I guess I would, if 2.5 were still available, maybe I would give Dallas. But I'm going to actually give the Portland State under 147 minus 104 that we discussed with Maxwell Smart. I think that this line is high because of historical games between these two teams going over, but we've got two first-year head coaches. I think we're going to see things a little bit differently. Rivalry game, it'll be a little bit more modest. I don't like the fact that the total's gotten bet up, but that's what I'm going to give. Every other pick that I've got makes me a little bit nervous. Ball State makes me nervous. Western Michigan first half. Northern Illinois is great. All the NBA stuff, I don't know. The NHL stuff, Calgary team total under, all those first period unders. I'll just give the Portland full game under 147 minus 104, despite the fact that the line is getting bet up.
I love it. That's exciting, and I think I'm going to tail now. The under 147 minus 104 in Portland State. Good. Give Viper a reason to stay up real late. So I love that. Okay,
Viper, what's it, Viper 108? 10.
You got minus 104.
No, but I mean, what's Viper 47? Viper NB 47. Hell yeah! Shout out to you. Happy birthday, Viper.
Now me, Pete. I need you to build me up in NBA like you did once upon a time.
Okay, so right now your record is down in NBA, right?
It's absolutely atrocious. Jose's not even putting it on the screen.
All right, so Jimmy the Bag. Maybe you just suck at NBA capping. No, I'm kidding. That's not.
You watched me right in front of you. So right in front of you, beat NBA full seasons for the first 3 years that we worked together in front of everybody, finishing the season double-digit units up. 3 straight years. Then last year, I lost. It was the first year I publicly lost, and now this is year 5.
Jimmy the Bag, there's a point to everything in life, but it's not always the obvious point that it might seem at the time. The lesson from that is that you always want to have faith and push ahead. Push ahead. The only thing that you can't do is quit and drop out. You know what I'm saying, Jimmy the Bag? NBA. You've done a great job in your life handicapping NBA. You've had a winning record historically. Life is about ups and downs. And of course, as we know, sometimes when you win, you actually lose or tie. And sometimes when you lose, you actually win or lose or tie. Always keep that in mind, Jimmy the Bag. I've been through it myself many times. Everyone we know has been through it themselves many times. When I look at you, when you look at yourself, you should think, how would I look at myself if I were outside of myself looking at myself? That's how I should think about myself when I think about what I expect from myself going forward. And what is that you would expect from yourself going forward? To do what you know is inside of you. And what that is slightly profitable NBA handicapping. I know you can do it. You know you can do it. If you stepped outside of yourself and looked at yourself, you would see that you can do it. You can do it, and you will do it. Is that okay?
Leche. Hey, those bookmakers!
This is all off the top, Jimmy the Bag.